Everyone, Doug MPA back with another live stream. So today we are going to talk about why women leave good men. Okay, this is going to be separate from divorce. I think a lot of people talk about divorce. We all know the divorce stats. Women initiate 70 to 80% of the divorces. Number one reason why women file for divorce is finances. Second to that is irreconcilable differences. Third to that is infidelity. We know all about divorce. But what about the relationship stage where you guys have been together for years and years and years, and then all of a sudden she leaves? So that's what we're going to cover today. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. It shows you support me and what I'm doing over here. Let's go over a couple things before I get to the first article. First off, I have a video and an article that is your typical pro female copium cope. We're going to go over that. And then um, I have a couple of articles against the copium that'll show one of the real reasons why women leave men. Okay, so we all in 2023, women will leave men for any reason. Her friends not being happy will just leave. There are women that even expect men to be able to leave, find herself, and then come back to you. Women reserve the right to change their minds for any given reason and expect a man to deal with it. Guys, don't deal with it. If a woman breaks up with you, cut off all communication. Don't deal with it. I implore you, because she's gonna have this expectation that, oh, I just need a break. If a woman wants to take a break, you leave. If a woman has to find herself, if a woman wants to take some kind of long-term trip or some kind of break from the relationship, leave. Don't let her come back. One and done. Kenford Julian re- reporting from the bottomless pit of New York, as usual. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Um, yeah. So once again, women in 2023 will leave you for the dumbest reasons. I'm going to cover that story later on, where the woman was uh, a mother of two, married for 14 years, and just left her husband to try to find her soulmate. She met this guy that she just deemed as her soulmate, broke up with him, and then so she divorced her husband, found the guy, and the guy rejected her. We're gonna cover that. Okay. Once again, in 2023, modern women reserve the right to change their minds about you, their relationship status, at any given time. It doesn't matter how much you've invested in them. You've given away your mating strategy. You invested time, resources, money, all that stuff. She will change her mind. That's why I always say the in 2023, until things change, passports or MGTOW are the only two paths, guys. Only two paths. Tell me I'm lying. It just even thinking about it right now upsets me, because I have a couple of friends in my life, uh, uh, in real life, who are with women and they just left. And then not only that, the man has no one to talk to outside of other men. All the women in a man's life will take the woman's side and be like, "Well, what did you do? Why did she leave? What did you do?" A lot of times, and you have it's the worst when you see a good guy, a friend of yours, who's done everything right, and then his girl just leaves, and he's just caught off guard. That happens to a lot of the military guys I know. I I think that Imma do a show on specifically on military men and the crazy stuff that they go through, because I have some friends who have some stories. Frenchie in the house, the Pink Ranger, now we can form the Megazord. Let's go. Thanks for supporting. I appreciate it. So we're gonna get into this first story here. It's called 15 Reasons Why Women Leave Good Men. And as I go along, please let me know in the chat, or if you're watching after the fact, um, what you think about these 15 reasons. Because remember, cope. The definition of cope is learning how to deal with a difficult situation. And over here on my channel, copium is the social infrastructure that women have put together to be able to shirk accountability for their bad decisions. And copium pushes women from having to face the bad decisions down the road. If it wasn't for all the copium, women wouldn't have to wait till 35 or 40 to look around, or a once in a lifetime event like the cough to look around and realize, why am I single? Why am I alone in this apartment by myself with just me and my dog? That's copium right there. Copium, once again, it pushes women. It prevents women from having to deal with their dumb decisions about their life. Tell me I'm lying. Okay. 15 reasons why women leave men they love. This is fairly recent, May 23rd of 2022, by Rachel Pace, an expert blogger. Marriage is considered a heavenly union between a man and a woman. The two people who promise to be with each other through thick and thin, but in some cases, okay, this one is about being married, so we're going to use this one anyway. But in some cases, a woman asks for a divorce even after seemingly successful marriage. Why do women leave men even after being married? Similar, you may have come across couples when a woman ends a relationship after years of steady courtship. Okay, it's the same thing. The couples may have been living together or even engaged. As per the research of Statista Research Department, the divorce rate is growing in Europe. Okay, nearly 42.8% of marriages in Europe in divorce. In the United States, it's about 55 to 60% now. But why do women leave men? There are different causes like emotional neglect, spouse mental compatibility issues, and even other issues that cause such breakups. Women often try their hardest to save a relationship or marriage. Oh, really? Do they? Most of the time, if a woman wakes up with a man, she already has an out. She already has a guy lined up. We all know that's true. I think men try harder to save marriages and relationships, because usually by the time a woman is ready to leave, a man has been dealing with a bunch of garbage from that woman. Her disrespecting him, emasculating him, maybe physical abuse. But if they do not get satisfaction in marriage or feel that the marriage is beyond repair, they leave. In this article, you will get a clear picture of why do women leave men after loving them. The answer is they do not see a future together with their present partner. Now, guys, I hate this partner word. If you're new to if you're new to my channel, one of the problems with the word partner is that husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance have defined expected roles that come along with those terms. A partner is a vacuous, nebulous term that women use. I don't ever hear a man say partner, ever. And ladies, if you're talking to a man that says partner, you got a problem. He should be saying that he wants to be your husband or your boyfriend or something masculine in your life. Okay? But women use the term partner because it's a vacuous, nebulous term that is undefinable. In business, you become partners, and what comes along with being partners in a business? A contract. You draw up a contract that has defined rules as to the partnership. Women want a partner because without a contract to be able to define what that partnership is. So therefore, it's malleable to whatever the woman wants from a man, and say, well, sometimes it's less, sometimes it's a lot more. It always goes through her feelings. Guys, don't become a woman's partner. Don't do it. Especially if she's the one using the term, because she will force you to constantly have to live up to what her idea of a partner is, and she will never make those conditions tangible, ever. Don't fall for the partnership trap, guys. Don't do it. Rocket99, thank you for joining. He says, yeah, I'm always confused and despise when I hear the word partner. I first wonder if they're gay. I agree with that 100%. I assume that if someone uses the word partner, that that they're married to someone of the same gender. So yes, Rocket99, I agree with you 100%. When a woman decides to leave, she may have already tried to do everything possible to save the marriage. We know that's not true. They may have lost all their hopes about being happy. See, and that's the problem. Happiness. Marriage, serious relationships is not about happiness. The red pill is trying to push that concept. And relationships, just like the workplace, modern women have like infested the workplace and modern in the sexual marketplace with all these buzzwords and terms and concepts. Example, it's like uh being happy in a relationship is unrealistic, but women have brought this into the forefront. I should be happy all the time. No, you don't get to do that. You think the guys who are 70% of households in the United States, the man is the breadwinner. You think these guys working hard to provide for their families are happy, or the workplace even? Who says you get to be happy at a job? Who says that? See, men, we understand that. The guys in the sewers, the guys on the roofs, the guys fixing cars, they're not happy at their jobs a lot of the times. But the happiness comes from the paycheck and the ability to be able to provide for their families. Women brought this concept that I need to be happy at work at all times. Who says you get to do that? No, it's unrealistic. It's a farce. Because some women may also have issues related to emotional satisfaction. If they're not getting enough emotional support and compassion from their companion, it's a common reason for leaving a relationship. And that's another thing. Another vacuous nebulous term. Emotional support. What does that mean? Anyone? Exactly. It means that the woman has lost every hope for the relationship and wants to start afresh. They may even cut off all ties with you. Usually, women decide on emotional detachment after closely inspecting and calculating each possible outcomes. That means that they what this means is they they've planned an exit. They've planned it. Many women instead shift their focus on their children or a career. Now, why I say this on my channel, the average woman in the United States makes about $35,000 a year. 75% of women make less than $70,000 a year in the United States. So career, nothing. Only 6% of women make $100,000 a year or more. Most people don't have careers. What did Kevin Samuels say? Most people have jobs. So this should change. Many women instead focus on their kids or a job. The woman has finally found that it is the right time to part ways to maintain her own emotional and personal well-being instead of wasting their energy on a failing relationship. When a woman leaves a man, how does he feel? Okay, so let's see how Rachel Pace, a woman, will tell us about how a man feels when a woman leaves a relationship. The answer is, uh, oh, Um, and interestingly enough, men can have a different perspective on why women leave any relationship. Most husbands or partners might think that the demands of their female partners are unrealistic because most of the time they are. Tell me I'm lying. Many men could believe that the demands of their wives are not justified because most of the time they're not. In some cases, the men become emotionally exhausted when their female partners decide to leave them. Till now, many men are the sole breadwinners of their families, and still, because in the United States, I don't know about Britain, but 70% of households, the man is the breadwinner, makes significantly more than the woman. So they can feel that their partners are impossible to please. Yes, the main reason why women leave is that their partners could also I'm sorry. The main reason why women leave is that their partners could also be financial issues. What? She wrote the sentence wrong. This is quite a true fact indeed. Many women can leave their present relationships to find men in better financial conditions. Guys, she said it, not me. Many men also consider that their wives or girlfriends have become nagging. They might not give any head to the emotional needs of their women. In the end, the woman leaves when she feels unappreciated. Such men often do not find any fault in their own behaviors. Men who are emotionally distant and are often busy in their own world have difficulty grasping reality. I told you we have to have the woman's side of the argument first, guys. We're going to get to the other side in a little bit. In many cases, the men either become sadder or ruder. Some men may look for their mistakes to find what. Some men may look for their mistakes. This lady can't write. Some men may look for their mistakes to find why women leave men. Others may not think twice and move on as they feel they have done nothing wrong. Excuse me, guys. This is not well written at all. I'm sorry. Okay, so now we're gonna get into the 15 reasons. Her man may have lost interest. He may have fallen in love with her in the past, but the sparks are gone now. See the sparks, guys. The sparks. The sparks are gone. The butterflies are gone. The woman has realized that her man does not love her the same way anymore. He is investing his energy in different things. Yeah, like his job and providing for his family, and has taken the relationship for granted, guys. Oh my God. In such cases, the woman may feel emotionally neglected and dejected. She may end up leaving him for good. Growing out of love is one of the main reasons why women leave men. Allegations of cheating. Now, we all know that women and men cheat at similar rates, and you could argue that women cheat more now because women have more options. Women have more avenues to get attention. But of course, they're going to talk about men cheating because, of course, for any woman, the news of her husband cheating is a nightmare. As a woman with self-respect, no one will like to live with someone who has cheated on her. The woman has done everything to make her man happy, yet he found love someone else. He found love in someone else. God. Why Kevin Samuel said the best. Men will cheat for femininity. Okay. When you're married to some ball busking, nagging, awful woman who emasculates you, treats you like trash, these women have completely undervalued what you bring to them as a man. Everything a man does in modern relationships and marriage is seen as automatic. But everything a woman does is super heroic. So a woman will come into a guy's life that'll make him feel like a man, and he'll cheat. I'm not saying it's right, but a lot of times a woman who's getting cheated on, she should ask herself, why did he cheat? Cheating is the main reason why wives leave their husbands. After all, she feels neglected, betrayed, and thrown away like garbage in his life. Main reason why women divorce men, number one, is financial. Number two, irreconcilable differences. Number three is infidelity. Okay. Both have grown out of love. In some cases, growing out of love is one of the modern causes of why women leave men. Despite once being madly in love, the two do not feel any attraction. The woman may have realized that the man he fell in love with has changed into a different person. There's nothing left to move forward, and both need to part ways to lead a good life. In such cases, the woman may part ways amicably. The couple may even continue co-parenting and remain good friends after the breakup. What I tell you about these buzzwords, guys? Grown out of love. What does that mean? Have you ever heard a guy say grown out of love? Ever? Never. Telling you, man. A codependent relationship often becomes toxic and stressful. The woman may become codependent, or the man can become too dependent on his wife. The woman feels emotionally drained and develops anxiety and stress issues. Some women in their long-term relationships, if the codependence becomes unbearable, or codependence normally means I need you to pay the bills. I need your income to pay the bills, and you need mine. That's why a lot of times when a woman comes into a big sum of money, she leaves her husband. When a woman starts making more money than her husband, she leaves her husband. The husband is the A word. As per research, women in relationships often have PTSD and anxiety. A man may A, his partner physically, mentally, or psychologically. Such case of domestic often make a woman's life a living hell. The woman may initially put up with and even try to correct the husband. Till now, DV are common causes of why women leave their husbands. Most women will not. Okay, here's my issue with this word right here. You can't say the A word too many times on YouTube, guys, because the stream can get taken down, or your video can get flagged. We're gonna talk about the buzzwords: emotional abuse, financial abuse. What does all this mean? And you're gonna hear me ask that a lot in the stream. What does that mean? Women just create these words. it's just and then you have stats like 70% of one-sided hitting is women. And most couples it's mutually combative, emotionally and physically. But they always talk about the husband. But I'll also say if a husband is abusing his wife, we're not going to stand for that over here. Guys, don't do that. Okay. There are trust issues. Trust issues may also cause a woman to leave her man. Trust is the base of any successful relationship. When a woman is unable to trust her man, it affects everything. The relationship loses its spark and there are more fights. The in-laws are not so supportive. In-laws are often the direct cause of why women leave men. A woman may feel suffocated and emotionally rejected if her in-laws are not supportive. Often the relatives of the groom may end up putting some unnecessary pressure on the wife. In some cases, the controlling parents of the husbands cause the rift between a loving and happy couple. They may judge the woman in even the smallest situation and have unnatural expectations for her. Because most of the time, if this happens, the guy married the woman and the family is seeing stuff that he should see, but he's not seeing it because he's in love. Ladies, if you get with a guy, unless the guy's a son husband, but if a guy comes from a good two-parent household and his parents don't like you, like you're not going to win the battle with the parents. You're just not going to do it, guys, ladies. So if a guy's mom and dad doesn't like you, you should probably find a different guy because they're looking at you and they're seeing things in you that you don't see and he doesn't see. A happily married couple can see the traits of a wife for their son. There's no intimacy between the couple. Intimacy, both physical and emotional, keep a relationship alive and going. For women, small gestures of intimacy mean a lot. With time, the intimacy often dwindles. If one of the partners starts to reject intimacy, the other can suffer badly. Okay, who's most okay? 25% of marriages are sexless. We all know the trope when you get married, especially when a woman has kids. Once she has her 2 kids out of you, her 2.7 kids, ain't no one's your woman is not sleeping with you anymore. I did uh, a stream or a video a couple days ago about um once a woman has your children, she will hate you guys. Go to that stream. This is documented in articles. Women are therapists and professionals are warning men and wives. The article said, ladies, when you have a child, you will hate your husband. You won't sleep with him. You won't want him anywhere near you. So it's funny how this woman is writing about how women can be can how men can reject women for intimacy. Get out of here. The differences are too much. One of the most common causes of modern divorce is inconsolable differences. On the divorce form, it's called irreconcilable differences. At a point in life, two people may share different life goals, while couples, especially women, sometimes adjust. It is not possible. Oop, what is this on here? The men are not ready to get married for a long time. Couples who cohabit, this is a common cause. For most women, marriage become a priority after a certain age limit, but in many cases, the man in the relationship may not be ready to get married and may seek some more time. That's because women push for marriage. Women could complain about patriarchy, how bad men are, how stifling marriage is. He held me back. Don't let your husband keep you from achieving your dreams. But women push men to get married. Why are they still doing this in 2023, guys? Why? Oh, AJ's in here. Thanks for joining me as usual. I really appreciate it. And make sure you hit the like button, guys. I really appreciate it. In such cases, the women first waits and then they become frustrated as her dream of having a good and stable life is devastated. 11, the husband doesn't appreciate the efforts of the wife. As a wife, women may desire some appreciation for the effort she puts into the relationship, but men often fail to notice, blah, 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 emotional labor, blah, blah. 12, the woman feels too pressured in a relationship. How is this possible? Most of the time, the pressure is just what the man wants out of the relationship. Don't go to the club. Don't have male friends. Cook me food on put a hot dog on a plate and put it in the microwave. That's what pressure looks like in a relationship to modern women now. Despite moving forward, society remains gender discriminative. A woman is also often forced to leave her career and dreams to become a good partner. No, it's a woman is often forced to leave her career and dreams to become a good mother because something has to give. Well, we already know about that. I'm not going to go into that. On top of that, the demand for becoming an ideal wife can become extreme in many situations. In such cases, the women often seek divorce to retain their emotional well being. The man is too controlling. The woman loves a controlling man. If the man tries to control each aspect of the relationship, it becomes fatal. Often, men force their wife or partner to mold in a distinct way while in the relationship. I'm not even going to touch that one. That's too easy. Long distance relationship. Often, long distance relationships are a cause of divorce and breakup. If the man spends way too much time away from home and does not show care while being away, the woman will leave. The emotional strain of being away without any support from the partner can lead the woman to live alone altogether. See, I agree with that one because um, long distance relationships, they don't work. In fact, guys, if you're dating a woman and she has nothing but long distance relationships, it's a red flag. And any woman that says that they had a relationship as long distance, it didn't count. Okay. Career differences. Career differences may be a reason behind why do men leave good men. Why do women leave good men? Ambitious women who want to pursue a career besides a successful marriage often divorce their husbands. Such women are successful mothers and good wives, but the damage is inevitable. Many men often feel uneasy around a more successful partner. Such husbands often hurt their male ego. This is not well written. Such husbands often hurt their male ego and end up damaging the relationship. This is a red flag. And when a woman leaves a man, the woman may leave their marriage to ensure she is happy emotionally. You see this common theme here, guys? In many cases, the woman is often forced to compromise with her career to fulfill her wifely duties. A modern woman may not budge down, and she may leave the relationship altogether. There are many reasons why women leave men after a seemingly stable and successful relationship. If you are seeking to end your relationship with your man, you can always seek professional help. Let's go over the list real quick. Let's sum this up real quick. So, one, her man may have lost interest. Two, allegations of cheating. Three, both have grown out of love, whatever this means. Four, a codependent relationship. Five, the husband is the A word. Six, there are trust issues. Seven, the in-laws are not supportive. Eight, there's no intimacy between the couple. Nine, the differences are too much. 10, the men are not ready to get married. 11, the husband appreciates the efforts of the wife, doesn't appreciate the efforts of the wife. 12, the woman feels too pressure in a relationship. 13, the man is too controlling. 14, long distance relationship. And 15, career differences. Copium, guys. Copium. This is all this lady telling that every single reason why a woman can leave a man is a man's fault. Copium. So we're gonna watch this video. It's pretty much the same as the article where this woman literally says that a guy needs to put a woman as a number one focus, and the reason why women leave is because if a man decides to focus on anything else besides the woman, once he has her, he's gonna get left. And guys, don't go to this woman's channel and put anything in her comment section or anything like that. But we're gonna cover this one. Oh yeah. Hold on real quick. Let me bring this over here. Okay. Is ready? Let's do this.
With the notification bell. Okay, so this is coming off the heels of a friend of mine talking to me about how his girlfriend of about 7 years left him for some scumbag she was working with who just made her feel alive. And I'll tell you right now, I know so many women who are not fucking their husbands right now, women who have cheated on their husbands for some sketchy ass motherfuckers, and women are so much more inclined to partake in emotional affairs versus just like one and done type of shit.
So a recent study came out. Actually, before I say what I'm going to say, you see this girl's mannerisms. It's one of those kind of videos, guys. So let me apologize in advance. because I can't stand when women have these type of mannerisms, this type of cadence to their voice. It's so annoying. But we're gonna get through this. So there's actually a study, and it showed that men are more likely to plan to cheat, whereas women are more likely to cheat spontaneously. So a woman is more likely to cheat on a girl's trip, at a work party. If she goes out to the club and there's a bunch of alcohol involved, a woman is more likely to cheat, which is why it's a good plan to not let your girl go out on girls' trips, have guy friends, go to the club and get wasted, because she's more likely to cheat than a man in similar situation. Let's get back into this video.
So why is that? Why is it that we women can really want a good man and then leave a good man for a scumbag of a man? First, let's talk about what a good man is. Good. A lot of guys think that taking care of themselves, being goal-oriented, go-getters, ambitious, make a lot of money, give your woman what she wants, give her a happy home, give her some sperm for them eggs. Y'all are just like, okay, let me achieve this thing. Now, unfortunately,
Did you hear that? She pretty much said, do everything for a woman is not enough. She said, have a go-getter mentality, provide for the woman, do everything she asks. Guys, this is modern women.
in that task-driven mindset, in that goal-oriented mindset, we tend to obtain this thing, this prize, this gift, and then put it on the shelf and then go obtain something else. A lot of guys stop dating their woman when she becomes their woman. But I'm telling you right now, that's only the beginning. Too many men look at their women like they've achieved something, and now they can put all their time, energy, and effort into achieving something else.
Did you hear that? Boom. There it is. Modern women expect you to tap dance, backflip, balance beam for them, entertain them their entire lives now. I always say on the channel, modern women want a successful, competitive man to set aside his goals, dreams, and ambition to help them in their selfish desires. That's the modern woman, guys. And you know what? I blame Hallmark and Lifetime for this, as well as Disney, but mostly Hallmark and Lifetime, because you always see the business tycoon who is really, really busy, and then he takes some time off to go out into the country, and he meets some freaking country, some woman who works on a farm, or some woman who works in a freaking grocery store or some bookstore or something, and then he falls in love with her and wants to leave his city life behind to be with her. That is unrealistic. And here's the thing: the reason why this girl can talk like this is women are en masse are never going to pursue men. This woman has no idea what it takes to put investment in a woman to even get her, to even get a woman in the first place. And women will want a successful, competitive man. He can't just shut that off once he gets with you, unless you want him to go broke. Women talk like this because they don't have to be men. That's the problem.
That's why they have the term trophy wives. You've won this thing that people can see you won. Make sure a trophy feels loved and appreciated and sexy and wanted. We still,
you guys, these videos like this, man. Ugh.
Have emotions. We are human beings. I'll tell you right now, my ex, we used to break up and make up all the time, and he was the most passionate about having me when he was pursuing me back. But once he got me back, sure enough, it'd only be a month or two later where I'm starting to feel ignored, neglected, because he was so much of a go-getter that every time he got me, okay, one and done.
I guarantee you, she's the type of girl that likes to initiate fights or do something to see him emotionally react. So she has guy friends, and if it's been a month and she hasn't seen him emotionally react to something, she'll call up one of her guy friends and do like a lunch date with her guy friends, or go to the club and say something happened to her and he has to come to the club to her rescue or something like that. Because women like her see conflict as love. If we're not fighting about something, you don't care about me. Stay away from these women, guys. Stay far away.
On to the next thing. One of my favorite movies is True Lies with Jamie Lee Curtis and Arnold Schwarzenegger. And Arnold Schwarzenegger is like fine ass, badass CIA agent who,
I love this movie too, guys. If you've never seen True Lies, it's one of the greatest movies ever filmed.
Takes care of his family financially. He's there for dinner every night, but he is so emotionally absent. He has so many lies, so many things that he keeps to himself. He's not opening up. He's not being vulnerable. He's not sitting with his wife and looking to her eyes and asking her how her day was and what he could do better. Granted,
because he has to save the world. He's a secret agent.
tries, she's baking him a birthday cakes. She's, trying to make his favorite meals. She's trying. But when he finds out his wife is cheating on him with a used car salesman, I really hope I'm not giving anything away. His partner says, what do you expect? She's a flesh and blood woman, and you're just not there. Too many good guys think that just by being there, that should be enough. It's not enough. I'm telling you right now, it's not fucking enough. If you sign on to have a woman as your partner,
there's the P word again, guys. What I tell you about partner, any woman that uses that term on the regular, run far away. Run.
Doesn't mean now you can just go off while she takes care of all this other shit for you back at home. It's kind of like, say you were like a detective, a lone detective, and you're like investigating all these murders by yourself. You're so stressed out. You got all this paperwork, you got all this like blood and semen and shit, and then you're like, hey, chief, I really need a partner. So your chief says, okay, fine, let's get you a fucking partner. I got you the best fucking partner. This partner is gonna help, and together y'all are gonna solve this.
Could you imagine hearing this voice every day when you got home? Could you imagine? And it's funny because part of me thinks that she's like this for social media, but no, she's not. I guarantee you, because look, she's pretty except for her teeth. Like her teeth look like a bear trap. But other than that, she's pretty enough where she probably feels entitled to be able to act like this all the time. And this is what you're going to hear with 24/7. Freaking 7 days a week, 12 months a year. Freaking
Prime of life. That doesn't mean now that you have a partner, you just go off and do your own thing while your partner takes care of all the shit you don't want to take care of. No, it means you work together. It means you help each other. You're on each other's team. You support one another. You're there for each other and complement each other. Too many of these good guys also think that not fighting or not arguing means things are great. That literally just means there's no fucking emotion at all. At least
boom, there it is. I told you. I haven't watched this yet, but I knew it. She's one of those people where you have to fight to show that you care about her. She will bring conflict to your life. She will set things on fire just to see you put the fire out and be like, oh, he loves me, as you're putting out the fires that she created. Women like these should be avoided at all costs.
When fighting and arguing is happening, it means one or both of you cares enough. You might even be with a woman who picks fights on the fucking regular, probably because you are so emotionally and mentally checked out from that relationship. And I'm telling you right now, you might sit there and think, I give her everything. I'm there for her. She wants for nothing. And she's still not happy. Chances are you're not emotionally there in the way.
No, if you give her everything and she's still not happy, she doesn't respect you as a man, and she will monkey branch to the next guy as soon as she can. Guys, if you see, men, we keep track of the tangible ways we are contributing to a woman's life. If you're contributing everything you tangibly can and she's still not happy, be prepared to get left. She does not respect you as a man. She doesn't. She knows that she can do better, and she's waiting for the time to duck out. That's what that means. And once again, this is coming from the perspective of a woman who's never had to do the work a man does to invest in a woman.
She needs you to be. And for all my girlfriends who have gotten divorced, this is basically the reason why they left their husbands. These really good guys who were hard workers and could not understand why she was unhappy when he got her a house and all these nice things and worked so hard, but was never around. If we're not feeling anything from you, we become susceptible to feeling something for another guy who's over here paying attention to us.
There we go. Yes, at least she's honest. She said you can buy a guy a house, you can buy a girl a house, you can be providing everything. But if she doesn't feel like you're appreciating her emotionally or giving her enough emotions, she will find a guy that will. And the age old saying, either a guy has a lot of money and not a lot of time, or a lot of time and not a lot of money. So you'll be the guy with a lot of money and not a lot of time, and she will cheat on you with the guy that has a lot of time and not a lot of money. It's an age old tale. Passports and MGTOW, guys.
Unfortunately. Now, I'm not saying your woman is going to leave you for another man, but even watching a simple Netflix show and seeing how men are, that's enough for a woman to be like, oh my God, he's not emotionally attentive. And women these days, they have, this perception of having way more options than we used to. And we technically do. Back in the day, in my grandparents' day, in my parents' day, you didn't just have all these options. You had the people you saw in fucking front of you, if that. Now with the internet, women can say, oh my God, look at this guy out in this show. He's so good to her. I could have that too. Or even
Instagram, Snapchat, social media. That's what she's talking about.
oh my God, look at this couple on Instagram. He's so happy when she comes home. He rubs her feet and shit. I could have that too. I'm telling you right now, it's not enough just to be a provider, because women can pretty much provide for themselves these.
False, false, false. Women have all the debt. Women get evicted more than men. Women make less. It's just we have this social infrastructure to coddle women when they struggle. Okay, that's what it is. And then also, women want credit for doing all the basic stuff. I pay my own bills. Okay, you're an adult. I have a degree. Okay, like men have been doing this for years. You don't get extra credit for that. No, most women, 75% of women don't make enough to retire on, and they're gonna take from the state. What did Kevin Samuels say? Most women cannot afford to not be married. And what's hard about it is a lot of these women are gonna find out in the next 10, 15 years.
Days. So be there, be emotional, be vulnerable, be attentive, be a partner to your partner.
Don't do that, guys. Don't do that. Don't open up to your girl, because the only way, I say on my channel, the biggest barrier to men's mental health is women. Women can't fight you physically, so they will fight you emotionally. Guys, your woman can only hurt you with the ammunition that you give her. Don't open up to your girl about anything, because she will use it against you later in a fight. That's why women want you to be emotionally available, so they can stab you with it later. Women do not care about a man's mental health, and this is their boyfriend, fiance, or their husband. And one last thing, we are 4, 5, 6 generations into men being raised at any and all circumstances. Do not put your hands on a woman. What that means, and you shouldn't put your hands on a woman, but what that means is when you're in an emotional argument with a woman, your wife, your girlfriend, there is a limit that you can go to that you have to stop. If it's two guys fighting, we'll start throwing hands. But with a woman, a man has to stop. But a woman can just keep going and keep going and keep going to talk about your mama, talk about your worst insecurities. Never open up to a woman. And everything she just said, be emotional, be there. I keep saying this in the stream. What does that mean? I'm gonna need you to draw out on a paper. I need a bulleted list of what being emotional means. Being a supportive partner. What does that mean? But women don't want to define that, because they want to be able to dictate what that is. And most of the time, when they dictate what that is, it puts them in an advantageous position over the man. You will lose.
It is as simple as creating these connections, making each other laugh, flirting with this chick. Even if you've been with her for 20 years, you probably haven't flirted with her for 10 of those. I go over exactly how to do this, how to keep your woman happy, and keep.
Okay, we're gonna stop there, because she's gonna plug some stuff probably, and I don't care. Reggie Gamer in the house. Always good to see you. He said, the infrastructure isn't going to be there for long if the people who paid the most taxes decide to take lower paying jobs soon. 100% correct. Reggie Gamer says, soon women will be paying out of the taxes to support other women. 100% true. Because remember, by 2030, the majority of women will be single and childless. So those women will be paying into the system to support the single moms and the older women who did not save money for retirement. And you're gonna see them complaining the same as men do. Frenchie says, not all women will use their men's insecurities against them. Frenchie, I do agree with that, but the problem is, as a man, you don't know if your woman is going to use your insecurities against you until a fight happens. There's going to be a fight that's going to be a knockdown, drag out fight. And once again, a woman can't beat you physically, but she sure will try to beat you emotionally. So, as a man, should I find out if my wife or girlfriend is going to use my insecurities against me? No. How about I just not find out? She could be the type of woman who would do it, or she could not. Do you want to find out? I don't. Rocket99 says, exactly. Be careful when you tell women they'll bring it up in the future or tell others about private information to hurt you 100%, especially in family court. Yeah, don't be emotional. Be emotional with other guys in your life, your friends, your father, your brother, but don't talk to your girl, man. Don't do it. Don't do it, man. One of the biggest mistakes I made in my last relationship, my last relationships, and then my ex-wife was opening up to my wife. Big mistake, man. Oof. Um, so this is the other side of it. If you guys don't remember this story, it says, "Are you ready for this? I'm proud of ending my 14-year marriage for a soulmate who rejected me." Remember this story, guys? Ah, the single mom of two went from looking for the one to looking out for number one. Okay, so I guess we are going to talk about divorce. Amanda Chinfield, 46, she says she has no regrets for leaving her longtime husband for a soulmate who subsequently rejected her. Chinfield made worldwide headlines last year after detailing the emotional saga in a memoir entitled When a Soulmate Says No. And of course, she had to write about it. Here's the I always say this, guys. One of the biggest problems with modern women is that modern women talk too much. People say, "Oh yeah, Brittany Renner." One of the problems with Brittany Renner is that she's a single mom and she's a 3 or 4 on Instagram. Her biggest problem is that she wrote that book. Any guy that's gonna get with Brittany Renner has to worry about being in her next book. Okay, when did women who are 3 or 4s start talking so much? You know how much headache would be avoided if these women would just keep their mouths shut. Stop talking. Stop posting stuff on Instagram. Stop going on podcasts like Just Pearly Things or King Rich's show and talking about your ex. Why are you doing that? People that know you watching the show will know who this person is, and you're defaming this person. So she wrote this book called When a Soulmate Says No. The Australian author, who is branded a self-destructive sociopath, for describing how she ended her 14-year-old marriage to the father of her children due to an eclectic encounter with a hunky man known as Jason. However, despite the public backlash and the heartbreak she endured after Jason rebuffed the romance, Chinfield has no remorse over her actions. Now she has 2 kids, guys. I'm proud of how I continue to navigate my life, respect and honoring those closest to me, the author declared in an Instagram post last week, marking a year since the release of her memoir. I continue to stand in my power, my truth, and embrace my vulnerability and my strength as an imperfect but always evolving human being. This should be the slogan of the modern woman. Let me read that one more time. I continue to stand in my power, my truth, and embrace my vulnerability and my strength as an imperfect but always evolving. I'm just going to say it, modern woman. Chinfield's bombshell book caused outrage upon its release last May. In the tome, she described her encounter with soulmate Jason, which took place while she was at a dinner party with her husband. Yikes. As I settled into my seat, I looked up and immediately lost my breath, Chinfield wrote. When our eyes met, there was an instant familiarity that ran deeper than water cooler chat. These eyes had locked before. 12 years earlier, his name was Jason. I hadn't forgotten. So this is her right here, proudly, displaying how she ruined her husband's life and her children's life. That's her right there. Chinfield did not explain the circumstances under which she previously met Jason, but she said that she felt an immediate attraction and soon struck up a conversation with him. Over the course of the evening, my attraction to Jason developed. And this is while she's at dinner with her husband. Her husband's probably talking, joking, laughing, and she's thinking about the guy across the room. I soon became aware of his every breath, and I unconsciously mirrored his pace. I caught myself embarrassingly looking at his chest through his slim-fitted white evening shirt. Yes, he had a fit, toned, and attractive body, but what was it his chest I was drawn to? Can you imagine if a man wrote this about a woman? He'd be done for. The pair continued to drink and talk into the night, with the author insisting that her attraction to Jason only intensified as the hours went by. The pair continued to drink and talk, with the author insisting that her attraction to Jason only intensified as the hours went by. By the time the group left the restaurant in the evening, all my senses were on high alert. It was abundantly clear that the energy between Jason and me was somehow charged. Okay, did I miss something here? Didn't it say that she was out to dinner with her husband? So now it's a group? Whatever. It's a mess up situation all the way around. The pair ended. Okay. So she must have met up with him after she saw him on dinner with her husband. So they went out as a group, and the pair ended the evening with a hug as Chinfield whispered into Jason's ear, "This isn't over. I need to see you again." I'd never felt anything like this before. I'd never experienced this sensation, she gushed. I now know without hesitation, without question, without any doubt in my mind, my body, or my heart that the energy we experienced that evening was our souls connecting. I left the dinner party a different woman. Oh, so she was at a dinner party with her husband, and then she made her way over to him. That's what happened. So her husband was there, but she left the dinner party a different woman. I knew in my heart and my soul and the very fabric of my being that I had profoundly changed. I couldn't articulate the feelings, the sensation, the experience, of the connectedness. I experienced with Jason was at a level impossible to describe. All I knew for certain was that this one encounter in the most unlikely of places, under the most unusual of circumstances, had dramatically altered my life. You ready for this, guys? Less than a month later, Trentfield ended her 14-year marriage with her husband, despite not having had any further communication with Jason since the night of the party. Boom, there it is. Boom. He was probably doing everything a husband should be doing, and she's going to come home and file for divorce. And tell me, what could he have done to get her to stay? Anybody? What could she have done? Exactly. The woman who had always been so careful, so planned, so organized, and so clear about the path her life would take had just made the most dramatic decision of her life, one affecting those dearest to her and her family, Chinfield candidly wrote. However, the author was left humiliated and heartbroken when she told Jason that she had dropped everything to be with him, only for him to tell her he wasn't interested in pursuing a relationship. Chinfield's story went viral on Twitter, with many mocking the mom's heartbreak, claiming it was karma for walking out on her spouse, and it was. Of course, the soulmate said no. She ghosted her husband after one night. I'd be afraid of dating someone with no object of permanence too, and that's 100% true. What would that say about a woman if a woman walked up to me and said, "You know what? I left my husband to be with you." Like, women think that's some kind of romantic thing. That's a red flag to a man. In fact, guys, don't ever have a woman leave. Like, if you're dating a woman, actually, I'm sorry. How can I word this here? Don't mess around with women in a relationship, period. But definitely don't wife up or be in a relationship with a woman that you met who was already in a relationship because she's not going to stick with you guys. It's just not going to happen. Lady, your kids will read this one day and will know that you blew up the family because you got too horny on Shiraz. Another snipe telling Shimpa she should not have published such a shameless account. And once again, not only is this story the problem, the book is the problem. The book is the biggest problem. The author hasn't disclosed whether or not she is now dating someone else more than a year on from Jason's projection. However, she does believe that her candid memoir has helped others stand in their truth. Oh, I hate this term. I'm proud my book is helping people understand who they are and why souls come and go from their life. I'm proud my book is providing others the ability to see and honor different perspectives, to embrace personal growth and healing. I'm a Jew. I've dropped the link, and if anyone wants to come up and talk about this craziness, please come up. I'd appreciate it. As I mean, this is typical. This lady was married with two kids, 46 years old. How sad is that? Sad. And the husband, therefore, husband was sitting there chilling, doing everything that he could possibly do. Was probably a great guy, and she just nuked the whole thing. And I guarantee you, she's going to talk about, oh, I'm a single mother now. I'm struggling. Telling you the worst thing. First off, on my channel, no single mothers, guys, ever, under any circumstances. Don't sleep with them. Don't date them. Don't marry them. Don't play another man's save game. Don't take care of another man's children. I wonder what the pathology is behind women like this who want to go back. They're married and they have a husband and want to go back out on the dating market as older women with two kids. Guys, stepdaddy season is over. Women who were in their 30s and 40s that are single moms, if you leave your husband or you choose to become a single mother by choice in your 30s and 40s, you are resigning to be alone for the rest of your life. It's a sad reality, and I'm glad Kevin Samuels and, Just Pearly Things and, a bunch of other channels are telling women this. Women, you need to listen. And if you navigate like a single woman, no one's gonna stop you. If you have your walls up, if you keep saying all this stuff about, "Oh, yeah, men need to break down my walls," and, men need to, um, uh, men need to do this. Anything that starts with "a man should" or, "a man better" is invalid in 2023. Sorry. So, and once again, I don't feel bad for these women. Come back out here and see what happens. I dare you. There's one more story I want to bring up here. Um, oh, this is another one. It's called "Woman 37 Who Left a Dream Husband After Realizing She Was Gay Reveals How Ending Her Content Marriage and Quitting Her Career to Travel the World in a Van Made Her Happier Than Ever, Despite Admitting It Is Very Selfish." So this is the last one we're gonna go over. Let me bring this one up so you guys can see it. Ooh, give me 1 second because it's not showing up on the StreamYard here. Share. Mm-mm. Oh, where is it? Women husband. Women husband. Oh no. Okay, here we go. Okay. Lauren Burgess, now 37 from California, recalled going to bed every night feeling grateful and content during the first few years of marriage to Matt. Oh yeah. Okay. Rocket says the exception is not the rule. Not all, but most will tell others about your information. It probably happened to you and you don't even know it. Then Frenchie says, "You're right. The exception doesn't make the rule. I guess I just want it to be clear that we're not all the same. And there are treasures and jewels like Frenchie. Frenchie's a real one, y'all. Seriously, she she's been supporting my channel, and we're a mod on the same channels. She's probably probably the top 3 mods on YouTube. She's a real one, y'all, 100%. Raging Gamer says the thing is, her husband could have just been her long-term boyfriend and would have had a better outcome as long as he wasn't in a common law marriage state. 100% true. Okay, let's get back to the article. It says, but she soon began to realize that something wasn't right. And one day she broke out in chronic hives and was told by doctors that it was due to stress. In an attempt to relax, she then embarked on a solo road trip around the west coast of America. And while traveling, she realized she was a lesbian. In February 2021, she divorced her husband. She then moved out of their home, quit her job, and decided to live full-time in the van so she could travel the world. While she admitted that telling Matt While she admitted that telling Matt was really hard, she added that he was supportive and understanding. She is now settled in Joshua Tree and is happy to embrace her sexuality, adding, "I thought I was living in the life of my dreams but now I really am." A woman who left her dream husband, her house, and her career behind after realizing she was gay at 35 has opened up about how traveling the world and living out of a van has made her so much happier. Lauren Burgess, now 37, a business coach. God. Women get to work in jobs like these. Guys don't. From California, recall going to bed every night. Okay. We went over that already. So that's her right there, and that's her poor, sad sack of a husband. Look at that life together, but it just wasn't enough now, was it? Look at that, so cute. Of course, she has a dog. In February, okay. I was living a life that I was told would make me happy. I had the dream husband, house, dog, and career, but I started to realize something wasn't right. She explained recently. I would go to bed every night grateful and content. I had a home and a job I was passionate about, but I would get I worked very long hours, which caused me to get hives. And once again, guys, women are not built for the man's game of working lots of hours, pretty much until you die. Okay. She just wasn't happy. Women reserve the right to change their mind at any given time, guys, about anything. Their job, what they should contribute to a relationship, what they want to eat, what they want to wear, what you should deal with, what you shouldn't deal with. I would go to bed. Oh, sorry. I was in and out of the hospital until my therapist told me I needed to drop something to get better. Then when the cough hit in March 2020, Lauren found herself becoming depressed. So these are all the pictures of her and her dog. That's her van. She and Matt entered into marriage counseling and planned a trip together. However, he decided last minute that he didn't want to go. Good job. I could hardly get out of bed, she admitted, of the early months of the pandemic. Matt and I started having marriage therapy and we discussed traveling. But all of a sudden, he changed his mind and he had the confidence to tell me that it wasn't what he wanted. See, at least he sacked up and said something. Lauren decided that it was something she still wanted to pursue, so she bought a van on Craigslist and set out on her adventure. However, during that time, she discovered some things about herself that she never knew. It was amazing, she recalled. I've been seeing a lot of people on social media talking about their sexuality, and I began to realize that I might be bisexual. I say this all the time, guys. Oh, Kinford's coming on. Kinford, what's going on, my friend?
Hey man, hey dog, what's up?
Tell me what you think about all this craziness.
I love it, man. I love it. I love it, man. A lot to say, Where to start from? The first lady who you had played on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I guess she's a black baby mama.
Or she's gonna be. With that attitude, she's gonna end up all by herself, man. Oh my goodness.
Then the second one with with the lady who had left her husband to marry this soulmate.
Yeah.
I love how you articulate it. Slow and smoothing and yet cutting.
Mhm.
Slow, smoothing and yet cutting. I like how you articulate it.
I'm telling you, man. Have you ever been with a woman and all of a sudden she doesn't want to be with you anymore?
Yeah, of course.
Well, so I've never been broken up with in a relationship, but I have been dating a girl and she ghosted
Uh-huh.
me.
Okay.
But I've never been broken up with. Even my ex-wife, I divorced her.
Uh-huh.
Frenchie's asking where the accent is from. So you want to tell her?
Yeah, Frenchie, I'm Grenadian. But I live in New York.
Yep. Frenchie is
Frenchie,
into
Frenchie, I live in New York. The the home of the bottomless pit.
Kimper said that New York is a freaking war zone when it comes to dating, man. Yikes. Let
She
me
dog, she's laughing, man. She don't know. She don't know when I'm in the bottomless pit. Frenchie there. Frenchie, what I mean, the not all, but soulless. You get soulless people out here.
yeah. Yes, you said it many, many times. Even the late great Kevin Samuels says if you want a relationship, move out of New York City, move out of Chicago, move out of out of New York, because those two places you will not find a good relationship. Let me we can talk a little more in a little bit, but let me get to the
Yeah,
rest
yeah.
of
Continue,
the
dog.
article. It says
Continue.
oh, I was gonna say about the whole bisexual thing. 60% of people meet online these days, right? And most of women's dating profiles, especially women under 35, they're anything other than heterosexual. So they're heteroflexible. That's a word women use. Bisexual, pansexual, demisexual, um, all sorts of these different sexuals. I'm like, what does this all mean? I did a video about demisexual. Demisexual is that a woman can't feel an attraction for a man unless she feels an emotional connection with him first. You know what that means? What does that mean, Kenford?
Ah, I don't get it. I don't get it, dog. I don't get it with this
Okay,
emotion.
demisexual means you're gonna pay for everything, invest in a woman, and you ain't gonna get laid. That's what that means.
That what's that again? Demi? How that spell? How that Demi spell?
DEMI, demisexual, is where
Yeah,
a woman has to be. She doesn't look at the physical. She has to be emotionally connected with you first before she can sleep with you.
but is that a new word?
Um, relatively new, like probably in the last like 10 years.
Okay, I got you. I got you. I got you.
Yeah, yeah, man. So anyway, back to the article. She says uh, 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 uh but on the trip, it all clicked, and I realized I was definitely gay. It all made sense. I knew I had to go back to my husband and talk about getting a divorce. I'm glad that he would. I'm surprised that they didn't break up right there. Would you let your wife go on a solo road trip? Heck no! Come on, man. So all these pictures of her looking all stunning and brave. All these stunning and brave pictures. I had experimented with women in college, but didn't think anything of it. It was just a bit of fun back then. I'm telling you, this is what girls do in college, man. I went to college in Vegas. I can tell you, every single woman who was over 6 messed around with other girls at parties. While she admitted that telling Matt was really hard, she added that he was supportive. The two separated in February of 2021. It was so hard, but he was supportive and understanding, she said. It felt very selfish, but I had a lot to grieve because yeah, it's all about her, right? Matt is an amazing person, and I still have I still have a lot of care there for him. It's been really hard, but I have to follow my dreams. There it is, you guys. There it is. This is modern women. The problem is most women have had, even if they don't get married, they've had this opportunity. they were with a good guy, especially black women. I'm gonna say it. Black women will meet a good guy in college, then break up with him once they start their careers or get their degree. And then they end up 35, 45 years old, single, alone, a baby mom, and be like, "Oh, I look back on it, and he was such a good man." You know, every woman I've broken up with, except for my ex-wife, has come back around later on in life to get back together with me. And I'm actually waiting for my ex-wife to do it. It's going to take her a while because she's remarried across the country, and she has had her first kid with her new husband. But I see her new husband, and let me tell you, he's a schlub, man. He's a schlub and a simp. I can just tell by the looks of the guy. Social media is a great thing, guys. It allows you to look at how bad your exes are doing. I'm that petty, guys. I know. Don't hold it against me. Yeah, I thought I was living. I thought I was. I thought I was living the life of my dreams before, but now I really am. Now I'm living my dream life, traveling the world. After spending a year living out of a van, Lauren bought a house in Joshua Tree, California. In 2022, she recently took a vacation in Europe where she explored cities like Paris, Amsterdam, Copenhagen, Lisbon, and London.
Doug, Joshua Tree is like the last stage of being homeless. You know, Joshua Tree in California is the desert.
Let me see. Joshua Tree. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's close to the desert. It's close to the desert.
Yeah,
It's like
and there's like a national park there and everything.
yeah.
There's
It's
only
like the
7,000 people there.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like no rules over there. No rules. No nothing.
Yeah. This is the modern woman, guys. Me, my, like Johnny Gill. I had to pursue, and this poor guy. And you know what? He's gonna keep making money. He's gonna increase his position. He's gonna find a woman he cares about. And 10 years from now, when the party's over, she's gonna be like, she's gonna come knocking on his door. I guarantee it. But you know what? I gotta give her credit for at least not trashing the guy on the way out. Actually, she might. Who knows? Maybe not now, but 10 years from now, who knows? But I'm telling you, man, this whole finding yourself is women. It once again, being happy in a relationship all the time, being happy at work. You know, finding a guy who makes a lot of money but makes time for you. These are all myths that women bring into the workplace and bring into the sexual marketplace. It's untenable, ladies. It's just not going to happen. I don't know why women think that all this stuff is possible. I don't get it. What do you think, Kenford?
Well, Doug, it's not really the happiness, you know, is what they see in movies, you know. Is like is the one is like you influence is what they see in movies and what in and as what like you know, I realize like all of a sudden they want to travel. Is influence. Is literally influence. You know, is influence. So it's not like okay, like basically what they see and who they've been around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't, I don't hear guys talk about how they love to travel and how traveling will no, like shout out to the Black Flat podcast with Fawn Alexi. He's actually coming up with his own original concepts now, and he has what he calls a travelicia. A travelicia are these women who, I have to travel. Yeah, well, what happens when you travel everywhere? What happens? You have travel everywhere, and then you're old, and now what? I tell you, I don't understand why women emphasize the need to travel so much. I don't hear any guys saying, I have to travel. I have to. Oh, yeah, I have my passport. No. The guys, either we're going to do it or we're not. That's it. So I didn't think that we go into divorces, but I guess when you're talking about, why women leave men, you have to start talking about the divorce. But yeah, this is why women leave good men, guys. So make sure to get with these women at your own peril. I'm not saying that all women are bad, but men lose. Men are taking L's in relationships and marriage now more than ever. You're going to take an L and it'll cost you. It'll cost you on the front end because men still have to court women, propose to women, plan the dates, pay for everything. So you lose on the front end, and then if you marry the women, you're going to lose on the back end. And once again, you're never going to see women pursuing men in mass because they know that it puts the man at a disadvantage. Women are just not going to do it. They're just not. Kenford, how would you feel if a woman approached you and asked you out on a date? How would you feel?
Well, I get that pretty often they don't have like
look at you.
yeah. They don't specifically ask for a date, but they just ask for contact. They don't specifically ask for a date, but they ask for contact.
How would it make you feel if a girl asked you out on a date, like said, I want to take you to dinner? How would you feel?
I don't really get it. That would be a red flag.
How so?
I gotta pursue her. She can't pursue me.
I actually knew a guy. So this lady I used to meet, because I used to go to karaoke up. I live in the DMV area, but I used to go to karaoke up in Baltimore. And oh yeah, wait, Reggie Gamer says, I always say when a woman leaves you or doesn't choose you, is doing you a favor. 100% true. Rocket 99 says, my ex put me through hell during the divorce. A couple years later, she asked me if I wanted to go to Disneyland with her. Of course, because she went out there and saw that there ain't nothing out there for her, man. A lot of these women, oh yeah, I'm a new woman, and all these guys are they're gonna come after you to sleep with you, but you're not. A lot of these women, they're not gonna get a serious commitment like the one that they have with their husbands. So yeah, so I met this girl and her husband up in Baltimore, and she was a Ivy League attorney, and she would represent corporations that were being sued for a class action lawsuit. So they have this really nice loft in Baltimore, and she met her husband at a party in college. She asked him out on a date. She proposed to him, and she married him, and he took her last name. Yikes, bro. I was like, no way. I could never do that. My male pride's too much. No. No. So I'm gonna wrap up the stream because that's everything I wanted to cover. Any closing thoughts, Kenford?
What you had said, they have been through them things already, Mm-hmm. Not on the receiving side, I know a girl divorced her husband that was like in my 20s, early 20s. Mm-hmm. And she was telling me once she divorced her husband, if I'm gonna be there for her. Dog, I made a mistake and I tell her yes. I wasn't thinking at that time, dog. I'm telling you. I'm telling you the truth. I wasn't thinking at that time. I'm just like, yeah, when you do it, I'll be here. But then that was 6 months in. She was 6 months in the marriage, and she said, what she's seen, she didn't want to leave it up. She didn't want to leave again with him, So she was like, she called me, and then she was like, if she divorced her husband, if she gonna come back to me. I was like, yeah, no problem. But it happens that she said that when she look in his account and she look in she account, she realized she wouldn't get nothing. So she dragged on the marriage for 7 years.
What?
Yeah.
So she waited for him to build up money first, and then she divorced him.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh!
yeah,
Yikes!
yeah. But then, um, when she got divorced, I was on the ship. You remember I told you
Yeah.
I was on the ship. But listen then.
You
Um,
guys messing around the whole time at all, or
no,
you
no,
guys
no, 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 no,
just
no,
friends?
no. Like, no, no, no. I just tell her yes, and I get the opportunity, and I traveled. So my mind forget all about that. But a couple of years later, I returned back home,
Hmm.
and like about 7 years later, I returned back home, and I reached home like about the Wednesday, the Tuesday, and the Wednesday night. She called. I'm like, "Where you call?" Then my brother told me, "Man, this girl been plaguing me for 2 years." So there you have it, dog. There you have it. I was
Wow.
I was out, but she been plaguing him for 2 years. Like, hey, where your brother gonna come? When Ken gonna come? When Ken gonna come? When Ken gonna come?
Wow,
So
man.
he give her the number. He give her the number, and she said that when she was in the city, she saw my brother. And my brother tell her, hey, Ken gonna be back in March and the 16th. So she called the night. She called the 18th. That was like about 7 years after.
Hmm.
I was real surprised, like surprised. I'm like, how you doing that, and then she tell me she and the man had a baby and all of that. So as I told you, I was on the receiving end of that. But listen, where things go downhill. I told her we're gonna meet in the city. Then we met.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, we met in the city. She wanted, listen, dog, and listen me properly. She wanted me for as there goes your word come again. There goes your word come up again. She wanted me to go with her to the lawyer for emotional support.
Well, she went for a divorce.
Yeah.
What?
So she was waiting on me. So she was waiting on me to go with her to the lawyer for emotional support or some bullshit. I'm like, you crazy. Yep. Yep, dog. Yep. Yep.
That doesn't surprise me at all, dude. It just doesn't.
Yep.
It doesn't. And you dodged a bullet, my friend. You dodged a bullet. Because if that woman will keep you in the back of her mind with her husband for 7 years, she
Yep.
should do the same thing to you if you get with her, man.
Come
Those are the
on,
type
dog.
of women who are on demon time, dude. Straight up demon time. Wow.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you said that she's with a guy now, and she has a kid or two.
Yeah, she got a kid. She got a kid. So but again, dog. I just only go back home for something. My mind was on other things. Because
Wait, was this woman in New York or Grenada?
yeah, Grenada. I'm talking
Okay.
about like when I was home. I get an
Okay.
opportunity. I was like about 22. I was like about 22. So then
So it started when you were 22, but then this came back around when you were 29 or
yeah,
something like that.
yeah, and
Wow.
my mind, I was totally, on my move again because I told you I was looking, still the oil rig. I was still on the ship. I was looking to go on the next ship to get better opportunity. So my mind was completely off because um at that time I only came home for 2 months. Remember I told you on the oil rig is 2 months holiday, then you got to be back. So,
Uh-huh.
but
Wow.
I had an extension. I had an extension. So, Doug, when you're talking about hours and working, 90 hours a week, Doug, you got to do.
Yeah, I agree. I'm in that that mindset where, especially if you're under 35, guys, you should be working 80 hours a week. 80. Yes, I said it. Or 60 if you have a really good gym routine. But if you're not going to the gym, if you're not spending an hour and a half in the day in the gym, you should be working 80 hours a week.
Yeah, but as I tell you, I was down there for 2 months, so I didn't stay that long, So then, as I tell you, when me and I meet, it's like, hi, what's up, and back again.
So
So,
so I can tell you, my very first girlfriend. I didn't have a girlfriend until I was 20. My first serious girlfriend, because I was one of those. I got good grades in high school. I'm black, so they always said that I would act white. So I was too white for the black girls, and so I had to like leave my home. I moved across to like so. Anyway, whatever. So I moved away from my hometown and I met this girl. She was a quarter Native American, 3/4 white. So she was white, but she had this really thick black Native American hair. Absolutely beautiful, right? So her and I were together for like 4.5 years, but I broke up with her because I moved off to college. And she was one of those women where she just like, she was never going to be anything in life. And not only that, she was one of those people where she would beautiful women, they don't have to think. And they don't have to learn how to problem solve because people will solve their problems for them. And most of our relationship, I was solving her problems for her. Like she'd make a mess and like I would have to fix it. And I
yeah,
spent
yeah.
years of my life doing this. So I had to break up with her because I knew like I didn't want that to be the woman. I didn't want the woman I was with for the rest of my life to be one of those type of people who would create problems I would have to fix. Well, that was in 2005. Fast forward to 2017, I get a message from her on Instagram. Hey, how's it going? I'm like, hey, how's it going?
Uh-huh,
I
uh-huh,
always knew that because she is from a small farm town, right?
uh-huh.
And she was super religious. Well, her family was, but she was kind of a rebel. So
Wait,
I
Idaho,
knew,
Idaho or somewhere?
huh? No,
Idaho?
Washington State. So
Okay, okay.
she had, she never went to school.
Mm-hmm.
She worked up in Seattle for a while, but she ended up back at her hometown, living with her dad and some dead end job with a kid as a single mom. And like I
Mm-hmm.
knew a lot of times, guys, we are cost benefit calculators, which makes us kind of clairvoyant. Like you can size up people because men were competitive and were cost benefit calculators. So it kind of gives you an ability to be able to see where people are headed. And a lot of times, if you see a woman or a person who's going to end up in a dead end, you're right 100% of the time. Guys, if you're with a woman and she's just going to lead you to a path of a dead end and be nothing but a liability, if you have that sense about her, you're right 99% of the time because she, I was together with this girl for 4.5 years, and I had to leave her behind because I knew where she wanted to end up, and she ended up exactly where I thought that she would be, and I had to choose if I wanted to end up with her or not, end up with her there or not. Every
Mm-hmm.
one of the women I've been in a relationship with has come back around, and they ended up exactly where I thought that they would be. So AJ, with my first super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, I have lots of stories. I have lots of stories.
But I want to tell Frenchie this. Frenchie, you and Doug, I want to say this. Um the girl on King Richie's show and Just Politics show this week, her name was Peaches. She was
The
from New
black
York.
girl,
Yeah, she was
the
from New York.
demon.
Yeah. These girls you gotta deal with in New York. These.
Yeah,
So so
I would
certain
agree.
things so certain things I might say Frenchie and you might feel uncomfortable, but these are the girls you gotta deal with. You hear she say she's a survivor? So
Yeah,
and I listen to
well, she
her.
said that
You should listen to her. Yeah, she says she's a survivor.
she said that she does what she wants. She goes where she wants. She's
Yeah,
able to network. And what is her job? She's a bartender and she's a single mom.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But
I put
I guess she's in
Frenchie
Seventh
with the
Avenue.
5 pounds of super chat. Thank you so much, my dear. I really appreciate it. When are you going to start a channel, Frenchie? We all want to hear what you have to say. Start making videos. because Frenchie's a mod on so many good channels. She's probably seen a lot of people's growth. Probably has a lot of good stories. Aren't you in the UK, Frenchie? Oh, well, pounds. Yeah. So, but
Yeah,
man.
yes, Frenchie. She said that, but that wasn't surprising to me. You know, she was a single mom. That wasn't
I'd say
surprising to me.
70% of no, I'd say 80% of the black women on that show are single moms. And here's the thing, Kenford, you're tame in that chat.
Mhm.
I'm scorched earth with these women in the chat. I never say all, but let me tell you, because another story time. Frenchie, one of the reasons why I'm so tough on black women is I always got really good grades. You know, I got good SAT scores. You know, I watched anime. I listened to rock music. So I was that black kid who was too white for the black girls. Okay. I couldn't buy a date with a black girl until I was like 35 years old. So I dated a whole lot of white girls. I'm to the point now where I don't even look at white girls because I dated every single kind of white girl in the United States, right? So, but when you turn mid 30s and you have a master's degree and a really great job and you don't have any kids, all these women who wouldn't give you a chance when you were younger, all of a sudden they're trying to beat down your door. I'm telling you, man, and also after I got divorced, I tried my best. Like I would love to be with an African American woman, like married to a serious relationship, but they make it so hard. The disrespect that you have to put up with from the average African American woman in dating is just ridiculous. And like I tell these women, I've had to prove myself to the world. I've had to fight, claw, and scrape. You think that my accolades would give me the benefit of the doubt in dating with so many of these women? Oh, you know, not only do I have to prove myself in academia and my professional career, but I have to prove something to you too. Get out of here, man. And once again, I meet these women who I call buzzer beaters. Buzzer beaters are women who focus on their career till they were 34, 35, 36 years old. Because what happens at 35, Kenford?
They
Geriatric pregnancy happens.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but
just real quick, hold on. So they want to try to slide a kid in real quick, and I'll go. The DMV is just like New York City. All the women who called into Kevin Samuels' show live in the DMV in the DC area, man. And I'm telling you, you'll go. A guy like you or a guy like me, because you don't have any kids, right, Kenford?
no, I don't got kids. I
Okay.
don't got kids.
They'll take you out on a date. Oh, no, you'll take them out on a date, right? And they'll just be looking you up and down. Like, this guy would be a good dad for my children. And what's the biggest red flag? That she's a buzzer beater. She wants to sleep with you on the first night, and she doesn't want to use protection. Telling you, man, it is real. Watch out for those buzzer beaters, guys. These women who have almost no relationship. What's your longest relationship? 3 months.
Yep.
Less than a year. Then all of a sudden, they want you to dive in raw. Dude, get out of here. Heck no. Nope. No children over here. Hashtag no kids game. Frenchie said that she was surprised that a girl was a single mother too. Frenchie says, I want to see black men with black women, but I understand why black men are dating out. I told you guys, Frenchie is a real one, man. She is one of the realest out here. And she said, I said, if they don't choose you, then they're doing you a favor. Yep. Reggie Gamer on it all day, every day. You know, it just.
She said, Doug, listen what she said, Frenchie. And listen where our guy in New York will come from, okay?
Mm-hmm.
She works in the bar. I guess she work on 7th Avenue. So I guess is where normally by Central Park, where all the crawlers are. Crawlers is the night creeps, okay? Normal, they got words, they got different words for them in New York, bro. No, you gotta forgive me for that. So think about it, Frenchie. She's there working in the night. When the guys are drunk, they grab women. You don't know what's going on with a girl at the bar in the night. Who man, a rich guy gonna be sleeping at home and his girl is walking out at night? And plus make it she's a bottle lady. Not the owner of the bar, she just a server, a regular server.
Mhm.
And Frenchie, the less in New York City, especially on 7th Avenue, I gotta say it, the less clothes you wear, the more money you make.
Dang. Okay.
So Frenchie, think about it. She gotta wake up. She said she doing two jobs. Okay, she gotta leave her baby to her grandma or who whatever situation that is. Then she gotta go in the bar, walk in the night. I guess by the crawlers, where all the I should say where all the creeps come out in the night. Because it's also dangerous, Doug. It's also dangerous, okay, because it's around Central Park there. So it's
Okay.
all it's like 24 hours, 24/7, okay? The bars and them run 24/7, okay?
Okay.
So where all the party goers and where all the night, like if you homeless, you go around there. So the prostitutes, homeless, no goods, everything just circulate around that area across it.
Okay.
Rich man gonna have his girl walking in that area. Come on, dog, let's be for real. As
Yeah.
a bar, as a bottle lady, and she gonna says that, oh, did she was giving Pearl hard time. I'm like, girl, you gotta behave.
Yeah. And it's just the whole. Oh yeah, I'm 37, but I identify as 28, bro. You lost me
Yes,
there.
because she got to do that at the bar, dog. She got to do that at the bar because I told you it's a less clothes. She said she make good and over. She said she make good.
Oh wait,
She
wait,
even
wait, wait.
said
Jennifer,
it.
Jennifer, hold on. Frenchie, oh my goodness. How are you, my dear?
Hello. Can
Let's
you hear
Hello,
me?
Frenchie.
go. Let's form the Megazord. Let's go.
We are excited to have you up here, Frenchie.
Oh my good. Frenchie, the floor is yours. What do you gotta say?
Oh my gosh, don't put me on the spot like that, dog. Oh dear. I missed the last, I think, 5 minutes of what you guys were talking about because I was trying to come up on the screen. So the last thing I remember hearing was Kenford talking about, is it peaches?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
pictures. Yeah.
So he said that she said that she works off of 7th Avenue where all the bars are, and to make a because she's a bartender, and to make a good living, you wear you wear less clothes, you have to work till late, and so she said
Mm.
that she works 2 jobs. So odds are she's a bartender at night because that's when you make the most money. And she said that she has another job, but like how's she taking care of her kid? And Kemper said that the reason why she identifies as 28 is because in the bar scene she probably lies to people all the time and says that she's 28 years old to make more money
Yeah, you got to do that, Frenchie. You got to do that. You got to do that. You got
as a
to
bartender.
yeah, as a bartender, and you got to wear less clothes.
Mhm.
And they know who they picked to as well. Eh? They know who
Mhm.
they pick as well. So so
She
I guess
identifies as 28.
Yeah,
yeah. She said so.
yeah,
What?
she said that on Rich's show too. And I'm just gonna say it. You see the difference on how she treated King Rich's and how she treated Pearl. She was constantly interrupting King Rich's, pretty much
Yeah.
yelling. The disrespect. The average black woman has a low level of detest for the average black man.
True, dog.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's unfortunate. I have realised it when I see black women calling up on King Richard's shows, or when they go on his podcast, they do treat Pearl differently.
Mhm.
He gets disrespected more by black women, I would say, than the white ones,
Yep,
which is
100%.
very, very disheartening to see. I don't understand why they don't, have respect for King Richards. I don't know what it is, but I don't even think it's just him. I think in general, black women in the UK and the US, from what I've seen, do not respect black men at all, especially publicly. They wouldn't hesitate to embarrass not only themselves but the black man with them, which is a shame because unfortunately they do represent me as well. So we all get labelled as the same, which is unfortunate. But
Mhm.
yeah.
Well, and with black men, we're not, we're guilty of it too. I know a lot of guys who perpetuate their these negative stereotypes about black guys, and they make it worse for guys like me too. Like, I was I remember I was on Instagram Live when that whole thing between King Riches and T popped off, and this guy was talking about like King Riches. I've been following him since 2006. Well, I don't know how long you've been following him, but he had this tagline called "Be Monster," and he tried to have shirts and mugs with that slogan on it, and he got a cease and desist letter from Monster Energy Drink. This is back in 2017, so that's when I first started. But yeah, I'm. I wish that he would kind of evolve his look, especially if you're going to be a podcaster. Like the whole gold teeth thing and the long. I don't know, man. Like I just, I got to where I am as a professional because I had to cut my hair and wear a tie. You know what I'm saying? So I'm hoping that he could get to that point, especially since he has a big platform now. That he okay. Well, I was on IG. I was telling you, and this guy after the whole thing with T popped off said that it was kind of Rich's fault because he gives off F-boy energy, and I was like, come on, man. Like even if you don't agree with how he looks, like he doesn't give off that. Come on, you know what I'm saying? But Frenchie, what do you think about this whole? I left my husband to pursue my dreams thing.
I don't understand it. I don't understand what is going on, on this earth right now where women are deciding that they suddenly want to find themselves. They no longer are happy in their marriages. And this whole, I've just discovered I was a lesbian when I went on holiday. I don't understand, how does that even happen? When you read it out, I just couldn't stop laughing. I couldn't stop laughing. I was like, is that how it works? I didn't know that.
I said it because are you in like a relationship or married, Frenchie, or anything?
Yeah, I'm currently in a relationship.
How'd you guys meet? In person or online?
Do you know what? Funnily enough, I don't know if I should say it, but it was online. So when I hear people talking about dating apps and how they're really, really bad, I'm like, well, maybe for most people, but for me, yeah.
You just have to have a couple of rules. But the reason why I asked is because don't feel bad about meeting your significant other online because it used to be that 60% of people met at work up until about 2007. And now 60% of people meet online, right? And I said before, I don't know if you see this on men's dating apps, but on women's dating apps, it's hard to find just a regular heterosexual woman. She's heteroflexible, pansexual, demisexual, some kind of bisexual, some kind of sapiosexual. What does that even mean?
Oh yeah. But yeah,
what's that though? What's that though? What's that though?
Sapiosexual.
So damn.
Okay. Sapiosexuality means that a person is sexually attracted to highly intelligent people, so much that they consider it to be the most important trait in a partner. It is a relatively new word that has become popular in recent years. And once again, I've never. Listen to this. Signs you or someone you know who may be a sapiosexual. Yes, I'm sorry. Gosh, Intellectual conversations or debates are sexually arousing. Listen to this. Bookstore hangouts, documentary screenings, or museums are your idea of a good date. Physical foreplay doesn't get you excited, but deep exploratory conversation does.
Oh my days.
Does this sound like anything a man would say?
Insane.
What would you do, Frenchie, if a guy said to you, on your first date or second date that he was sapiosexual?
I'd be very confused.
Yeah, of
And
course.
yeah, I don't want to discriminate, but I feel like I
Oh,
would
come on. Oh, come on,
automatically.
Frankie. You gotta discriminate.
Go ahead, Frenchie.
No, I was gonna say I wouldn't automatically want to discriminate, but I would just assume that it's something to do, with the rainbow community. So I'd just write him off. But just because of ignorance, I'd assume that it's something to do with that. Because the only thing I know is heterosexual and homosexual, and then you've got the bi community, and that's it. So everything else just sounds really weird to me. Just making up all these different labels for things that just don't make any sense to me personally. I mean, you can like someone's intelligence, but maybe even find it attractive, but to be aroused by it, it's a bit concerning, I'd say. But each to their own, I guess.
Yeah, for me, once again, modern women are about malleability. Like modern women want to use any reason to disqualify a guy or shape the reality of how a man contributes to her life as a man. So it's just, I'm telling you, man, like guys, we are not this complicated. Ragey Gamer says,
True.
not too many people were trying to travel in a van where we had to work on a farm and hope you get a good harvest to survive. Yep, 100%. Have you, Frenchie, have you ever heard of, do you ever have a friend or who is a girl who left a good man or left her husband and then ended up regretting it later?
No, I haven't actually, but I do have a friend who, I don't want to say repels men, but I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but she just can't seem
At this
to
stage,
find a partner, and she's like 33 now.
Oh yeah, she what's been her longest relationship?
I believe 2 years.
oh, please. She dug a tad with his 2 years stuff, man.
Well, I thought that she's gonna say less than a year. What is your job?
She's a nurse.
There you go. Boom.
Oh, no.
There you go. There you go. You don't know why she's never gonna find anyone? Because here's the thing. There are certain occupations where women, they give all of their nurturing energy to everyone but themselves and their significant others.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, but like Kevin Samuels said, the best nursing used to be a nurturing profession, but now it's so masculine. Ever since, because in the United States, they've barely increased the amount of medical school spots. So there are less and less doctors on the job market. So nurses are having to do a lot more of what doctors used to do. And so they work long hours and they fall in love with their job. And there's this culture around nursing, like nurses are these superheroes. Like you're a nurse, like the whole world is on your shoulders. The problem is a lot of nurses, like psychologists and counselors and social workers, you don't have anything left for a significant other. Like a lot of nurses expect a man to be second to her career, and we're just not going to do it. We're not going to do it. I need to be first because I want to make you first. But nurses, you will always be second to her career, and they want a man to understand I'm a nurse first. Like nurses might as well be single mothers with their jobs as a kid. And really think about your friend's mindset and how much of what I said is true.
No, you are correct. I think with me, I just feel sorry for her because she does try, and she's. I know the chat's gonna hate me, and they hate it when I do this. When I feel
Don't
sorry
you
for the
ever
women,
sorry. Don't you ever sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
because she has been through a lot with men, but it's the men that she chooses again. So she has to hold herself accountable for that. But she is genuinely a nice person. She just has certain traits that she needs to work on or get rid of.
Mm-hmm.
She is masculine. I will say that she is. She is very domineering, I would say, and she's Muslim, so it's quite surprising.
How does that work?
Right. My thoughts exactly. But I don't know if it's just because she lives here in this country and maybe she's just been conditioned to think a certain way. But literally
Now,
every guy she's been with, she wants to be the man, she wants to be the leader. And I've told her so many times, you can't do that, especially because she
Muslim
likes
men.
African men.
Oh,
You cannot do that with an African man. It's not going to work. And it never does.
How often does she talk about guys being too weak for her, or guys can't handle her, or she needs a strong, like she's an alpha female that needs to be out alpha pretty much? She ever say anything like that?
Yeah, she has. I'm not gonna lie.
She has. It's scripted at this point. It's scripted. That's why I'm telling you, all those women on the couch, in that studio, man, I already know what's coming, dude. I already know what's coming. It's just like,
The
bro.
couch of shame.
Yeah, the couch of shame. And someone else said that on a different stream, and I think they must have heard us say it in our chat because I was watching another person's show and they said a couch of shame, and I'm like, oh my god.
You need to copyright that, dog. That's your saying.
I told you, a culmination of my mod career on Pearl's channel was Pia calling me out by name. Remember? It's like your whole chat is calling me a ginger whale. Doug and PA, I'm watching you. I was like, yes.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was so bad.
I've reached Saiyan level mod gang. Let's go. Saiyan
Dog,
level harpoon gang.
I loved it, dog. I loved it.
It's so good, man. Yeah. If you haven't,
you guys are so savage. I couldn't do it because I know if I do it, they would just blast me. So I just keep my mouth shut.
Really? I'm telling you, I'm savage. And if you guys haven't subscribed to Pearl's channel, just Pearly Things, please do, because all of us are mods on her channel and we support Pearl 100%. Like if I started watching Pearl when she had less than 10,000 subs, and I became a mod on her channel when she had like 11,000.
Wow.
Subs or something like that. Yeah, man. And then I actually met her in person last month.
Really?
Yeah, she was in the US and she was about to go on a podcast, and it was near me in the DMV. So like I drove up and I met her and Blessing. It was great. I met her in person. Yeah, she is awesome in person. You know, they say you meet those people. No, you don't want to meet the people that you see on the internet, because it went exactly how I thought it would go. Like Blessing's cool as hell, Pearl's cool as hell too. We sat and drank coffee for like 2 or 3 hours, and she was just it was because I used to call into her show like when she was still in the United States and just going live on Instagram and stuff like that. And it was just like it was just like I was talking to her 2 years ago before she blew up. Like Pearl's one of the most humble people I've met. Like she's a freaking genius. And I'm telling you, like if you meet her in person, she's just like a regular girl. You know what I'm saying? It was great. Yeah.
Man, I wish she could come to New York, but you know New York, dog. You know how it is like out here,
The
man.
bottomless pit. You said
Yeah,
it.
yeah. You know New York. You know, so I mean, I wish she can, but you know how New York is. So
you live in England, Frenchie. Are you gonna go on Pearl's show?
Oh my gosh, I don't even think my boyfriend would allow me to.
Could you imagine?
Frenchie, I want to ask you a question. What do you think of the OnlyFans? All the OnlyFans on that culture, because Doug said you got to bleach it, you got to wash it, you got to wash it.
Doug, fact. I was absolutely disgusted with what I was hearing, how
Right.
they were justifying it. How I think the woman that was wearing, I think she was wearing a black t-shirt, how
Yes,
she
she
was a
had two kids.
mother and
She
she
had
wouldn't
2 kids.
mind if her mum did it or her child.
Yes.
It's so disgusting to hear, honestly. But they're not even ashamed of it. That's what shocks me.
Even worse was the Irish guy in the back who does stuff with men and women. I'm like, bro,
Ugh.
what? And like he said it at first, and I'm like, wait, what? Yeah, yeah. He just and he even said it. He's like, I make money off the hetero stuff, but I make most of my money off doing stuff. And then I told you it
Ew.
sounded rehearsed when he was like, if what I said makes you think that I'm gay, well then you can go ahead. It sounds like he said that to himself 1,000 times in the mirror
Right.
to justify how
Mm.
crazy. 'Cause I'm telling you, you know what? I'm from Western Washington. You know, I consider myself like center left, right? And
hmm
I give people the benefit of the doubt. I can see how a man can be like emotionally attracted to like another man, but it stops with the physical part. Like, you know,
hmm
the physical aspect of it just completely disgusts me. Like, I don't understand how. Like, I can't. It's just so disgusting. Like, you ever have it where like you're like, you know, I wish that, you know, I wish I could find a woman that kind of has like one of my guy friends' mindsets. That's what I meant.
But
But
Oh, yeah,
like
that
the
makes sense.
physical
Yeah.
part literally makes me sick. Like I can't. Ugh.
Frenchie, my origin is from the Caribbean, so you know how we think about gays, eh? So
Mhm.
Oh gosh,
so
yeah. You guys are ruthless over there when it comes to them.
yeah,
Jeez.
so
But you know, I was reading kind of on the history of it, and the Caribbean and Central Africa were where a lot of disgraced clergy would go to, like the clergy that would abuse kids and stuff. Like the Caribbean and Central Africa, so like Middle Africa, well, the African continent, period. But like
hmm
Middle Africa has a big problem with it, and then the Caribbean does too, because a
yeah.
lot of the
Yeah,
pastors
it's true.
were
So
yeah.
so when I heard that, I say, you know what? Let me go and drink some water for me to cool down, you know.
But that's
I
the
want to ask.
thing, and
Go ahead.
sorry, no, I was just gonna say, but that's the thing, and if you speak up about what your thoughts are on that person's lifestyle, you'll get called, all the phobes in the world
Yeah,
when it's just you. You. I don't hate
Easterophobe.
them at all. Don't hate
The,
them.
the,
I even have a friend that's bi. I don't hate them at all. It doesn't align with what I believe in, but each their own. Live your life as long as you're not,
the one
affecting mine.
the one with the glasses. The second one, I remember her well. The second one with the 2 kids. She was like, "Well, if my daughter wanted to support, I wouldn't tell her stop. I wouldn't tell her stop. I'll just agree with her."
She has to say that. It's
I'm
cope.
like,
It's copium,
Mm,
Kinford. Copium. She has to say that because if she doesn't, it makes her look bad. And here's the thing:
exactly.
mothers will sell out their children for the sisterhood. Mothers will sell out their sons. Oh, single mothers have to say, "Oh yeah, I let my son marry a single mother," because if they say that they wouldn't want their son to date a single mother, it's them acknowledging that they made a stupid decision to have a kid with a person that they had a kid with. It's the same thing with OnlyFans. These women have to say that they would accept their daughter going on OnlyFans. If they say that they wouldn't want her daughter to do it, it means that she has to accept the fact that she made a bad decision by going on OnlyFans.
yeah, but Doug, the thing is, she ain't making all her money because Lena the plug. I listen, Lena the plug, right? And Lena the plug saying that you gotta be constant. You gotta give them something new. You gotta give them something new. Okay, and she's actually one of the top earners in on OnlyFans. These fat chicks on the couch, they know like 10 or nines.
Yeah,
Come on.
Kenford, there's a lot of lonely, simpy guys out there, man. That's what it is. It's sad that like she said that she makes enough money to be in like the 1% of
Oh,
earners.
please, Doug, I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
Madness.
I don't believe that. Doug, she's fat. We're gonna pay
Yeah,
well again. Again.
Kenford, man, don't ever underestimate simps, dude. Don't ever Telling you,
True.
underestimating a simp is like underestimating a rattlesnake, man. So Frenchie, I have one question about London. What's with the whole African versus Caribbean thing in London? Like
Oh
in,
my
in,
gosh.
in Britain, is that a real thing?
Yeah, it is a real thing, but I don't live in London. I live up north, so my
Okay,
accent's completely different to those down south.
okay.
But it is a real thing across the UK. But I think it has ended with my generation, I would say. But I think I would say, for example, like my parents' generation came over here, and the area that I lived in was predominantly a Caribbean one.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, like, when my mum, because obviously I'm Cameroonian and we speak French, when my mum would speak to me in French sometimes, it's just ignorance, really. The kids would be like, oh my gosh, they're speaking the African language, they're speaking the African language. And this was coming from, I can't say all Caribbean people, it was mainly Jamaicans.
Mm-hmm.
They had I don't know what they've seen on TV or what they've heard or what was portrayed to them about African people, but they would say the typical, you African booty scratcher,
Yeah.
you
American
this,
blacks
you that.
do it too.
Really
American blacks do
ignorant
it too.
things would come out of their mouths, but um,
I've
I
been to
definitely feel
Cameroon.
like it's ended now. I know you said. I was
Yeah,
happy to hear that.
I've been to Douala and I've been to Yaoundé. Yeah, both. Yeah, my
Oh my
ex-wife was Cameroonian.
gosh.
Yep. So all the elo and the delay and all that stuff, yum. And all of the what's that stuff that they sell in the bottles of all the chin chin, yum,
Chin chin. Oh my gosh, look at Doug. Oh, look at you.
yum, yummy. Yep.
Oh,
So
you said
only thing,
Ndole, right?
yep. Mm-hmm.
Did you like it? Do you like it?
I I never met uh uh a Cameroonian food I didn't like. In fact, when we did, my ex-wife and I, we did our traditional wedding over there because her tribe wanted to do like a traditional wedding. Um, I was the only American that had met that like had ate everything that was put in front of him.
Oh, bless you.
I'm telling you, man. Yeah, I'm telling you. My parents raised me. If someone cooks you food, you eat it. And in
Fact.
fact,
Yep. Hmm.
Um, I you sound like you don't have the stereotype of Francophone Cameroonians where they're, designer clothes, weaves, handbags. You know what I'm talking about, all the drama. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
my ex-wife was 100% that, 100%. So, like, one of
No
the reasons why
way.
I had to leave her is because she was just princessing it up, man. Like, I had to leave her behind because well, I wasn't in my masculine frame, number 1. Like, I was just simping at the beginning of my marriage so bad, and then one day I woke up and I was like, "What's going on here?" But 2, like, yeah, you know what? I gotta take, accountability, but you know what? I'll tell you, Francophone Cameroonian women are the most beautiful women on the African continent.
Oh.
You know it's true. You know it's true. Like, my ex-wife was one of those beautiful women you're ever gonna see. But only thing bad about it is beauty costs, man, and I had to learn that the hard way. What does
Yeah,
Myron
true.
Smith say? Don't get with a 10 or a 9, get with a 5 or a 6, because my ex-wife was a solid 10, and I had to deal with everything that
Oh,
came along with a 10 for 4.5 years. Oh my goodness.
wow.
Yeah.
What
So,
tribe was she from?
uh, I don't even remember. It's been so long. Oh, I have to check back with you and see if I can remember because I
Okay.
don't remember. And like, I never learned French because she had no patience, like none, 0. So I got all the different ways to learn French, but she just like had no patience at all. And I'm like, and unfortunately, America, all you have to do is know English. So
Yeah, true.
it always came back to, I don't have to learn it because I live in the United States. But anyway, yeah. So I've been to Cameroon for 2 summers in a row. I went to 2 weeks in Douala and then a week in Yaoundé the first time, and then we flew to Yaoundé first, and then went to Douala for the last week. Yeah, so it was fun. It was good. Mm,
Oh, I'm glad you had a good time. I'm
it's
always
fun.
happy to hear these stories.
Yep, yep,
Oh,
yep.
that's lovely.
But
Um,
Go ahead.
actually, Doug, what the reason why I bring up that they said that about 13% of the OnlyFans, only about 13% would make good money. Okay,
Hmm.
so what they're saying that if like about let me say a rough figure is like I think the latest figure was like 7 million.
Hmm.
So like that is like about roughly like 1/10 of 1/10 will make 6 figures, Doug. I don't believe this girl's on there is making up because one said she you could see like she and then doing that. Well, she said she's into gaming and she wanna do gaming and all that and all that. She willing to go into gaming. So
Hmm.
I don't believe them is top earners. I don't figure it. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah. Once again, don't freaking underestimate Sims, dude. Because even like look at that Pia girl. Pia's she's a plus size model with a following, like a, a ginger whale. Like what? Come on,
oh,
man.
but Pia's cute. She's got a cute face.
Yeah, but I don't know if you saw on Pearl's Instagram, but she was next to Pearl, and it's like what to do and what not to do. But yeah. Guys, you know that OnlyFans generated $1.2 billion in revenue in
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
2021.
Wow.
yeah.
Don't underestimate Sam's Kenford. Don't do it, man.
Okay.
It's
That's
sad.
madness.
It's sad. And and also, um, when they're talking about the whole grape thing, you remember? I don't know if you guys remember that show where it was when Pearl first started, and she had that male OnlyFans guy that had the long hair. Remember him?
Yes, yes, I remember him. I
Yeah,
remember
he
him.
said
She had,
that.
she had him twice.
Yeah, his number one request with women, like women would want him to act out a great fantasy. That was his number one request.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
It's
mm-hmm.
crazy, dude. I'm telling you,
That's
it's crazy.
crazy. I'd love to know the psychology behind the women that are into that because it's madness to me. It's not
And
normal.
and
Why
and
would you
um
want that?
and what I don't believe, the one on the corner, the one right at the corner, and the single chair, she was saying that when she went to work, the manager or the supervisor was harassing her.
Yeah, she
So
was freaking capping, dude.
so I'm
Come
like
on, man.
I'm I'm like,
No,
bitch. Anyway, I
no,
shouldn't
man.
say that. But dog, I don't want to shut you down. Anyway, I'm just saying that she said that when the guy will go on such and see where she is and then come and ask her how she's doing and how she's getting along, and yet for all she's on OnlyFans.
Yes, I don't want to be harassed, but then I'm gonna sell my body online. How does that
Yeah.
make any sense?
So I'm like, yeah. I'm like, but she didn't really talk about that money, that amount of money. She didn't really. Is like about three there who was really talking about money. The one said but I realize, and I guess you guys didn't pick it up. The first one on the couch says that she cannot make a kid, right? She don't have the
Yeah,
she
yeah.
don't have the make it.
Mhm.
Down right down to the show when the show ending, she had to say that how parents should warn the kids about sex because they got this disease around going around that when you do have sex you cannot make kid no more. What's the name of the disease, boy? What infect woman? You have a disease what messed up the ovaries. I forget the name, but I could tell, Doug, is the
Chlamydia?
same. I could tell it's the same disease she got.
Wait, I'm gonna look this up. Let me see.
Yeah, he got a
What
he got a sexual disease. He got a sexual disease what mess up the ovaries.
women's
I just
fertility?
forgot the name. Chlamydia or something. No, not chlamydia. No.
Yep,
Um.
you got it. Yep. Chlamydia and gonorrhea. Yep.
Yeah. Yes. That what she was saying, and she was saying that she was saying something about about tell them how to use condoms and this and the other. But then she during the show she was saying, I like to suck dick.
Crazy, dude.
Man,
Madness.
And she's 25 years old. What's probably about it is you, you can't take this back. That's what these women don't understand. You
but but
can't
but
take
Doug,
it
but Doug,
back.
but Doug, you could see she don't care. You could see that she don't care. She don't care. She don't care. She don't
Yeah,
care.
man. It
You're
is
not.
We need to
She's
bring back shame.
no,
$100%.
but she's a write off. You know, she's like a write off. You call them so write off. You know, those those New York will love them. You know, like her. New York will love them. I
Mm,
will give her a ticket to come across. You know, New
yeah, to
York
the
will love
bottomless
them.
pit.
Yeah, to welcome to
Bottomless
the
pit.
bottomless pit. You know.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
just
but
Frenchie, is there a price for you to go on OnlyFans? Is there any price?
I'm gonna say no, but I know the chat won't believe me, but I'll say no just because of how I was raised and um we're taught you when you're outside you don't just represent yourself, you
Yeah.
represent your family. And although I'm 26, I'm still of age where my parents will beat the living crap out of me. So I would never ever do anything to embarrass myself or my family or anything that goes against my morals. So when people say things like, "Oh, I don't agree with OnlyFans," no, sorry, where they'll say, I personally wouldn't do OnlyFans, but there's nothing wrong with it. I'm of the opinion that it is wrong. It's disgusting. It's degrading, and women should not be doing anything like that because you're setting women back by doing
Yeah.
stuff like that.
See, and I never because that's what starts off with women defending the sisterhood. It's like we talk about the A word, like baby deletion.
Mm,
There's three kinds of women. There's those who would never delete a baby and don't want you to do it either. And there's the women who wouldn't do it, but then want other women to have the choice to do it. And then there's the women who want to be able to do it and want you to be able to do it too. I've never
mm,
understood the women who wouldn't do it themselves, but don't mind other women doing it. Like, why is something bad for you, but then not bad for other women? I don't understand it.
exactly.
It's all about the cope. It's all about the copium, dude.
What is
So
this cope word? I've been seeing it everywhere. I'm like, cope? What's that?
the definition of cope is
compromise.
no is the verb is of a person to deal effectively with something difficult.
Oh,
So
like
or
cope, coping
yeah,
mechanisms.
or have the capacity to successfully deal with something. Now,
Oh,
copium varies. My idea of copium, copium on my channel is the social infrastructure that women have put in place to be able to deal with their bad decisions or shut accountability or kick their major life decisions down the road. I.e., you know, men should date single mothers. You're
mm-hmm,
not a real man if you don't. It takes a real man to date a woman with children. Copium. Women with a whole bunch of debt are just like, oh yeah, I make six figures, but like you have a bunch of debt, and you're not going to spend it on me. It's all copium. All these
mm-hmm.
modern women tenets are copium. It's just a system that women have put together to shut accountability. Copium.
Mm. Wow, learn something new every day. Wow.
Yep. So
I did I did wanted to ask you guys' thoughts on going off topic just a little bit. The whole drama surrounding I would say, is it Auntie Jenny? Because I only found out a couple days ago about the situation, and it was through another channel that was suggested to me, and I was like, what on earth is happening? I was so confused. But I wanted to know what you guys' thoughts were because for me, I've noticed in this space, it's like, who is real? Who is actually genuine? I personally, if I was, a part of Pearl's network, I would never expose anything that went wrong online, even if it's just an argument, I wouldn't do that. But I don't know.
Are you,
Maybe I don't know. I don't
Mishy,
know.
are you on Instagram?
I am, yes.
Yeah. I, c- I don't want to say anything on here because people always seem to find when that whole thing was going down with like the whole Nick Fuentes thing and the
Mhm.
whole the
Oh
whole
yeah,
thing.
true.
Well,
Yeah.
so like people like reach out to me to try to get me to say something about it, and like I'm not going to because like
Hmm.
people I know I'm not that important, but I know that people are like they're gonna try to. I'm surprised that they didn't reach out to you guys, but I had people reach out to me as a mod to try to get some. Like I'll never say that a bad thing about Pearl, and I don't want
Mm,
to I don't want to put any tea out
same.
there. So like
Yeah.
if you're on Instagram, reach out to me. Put a comment on one of my videos, and then I'll give you my Instagram, and then we can connect on there, okay? And then
Okay, sure. Yeah, that's fine.
I'll
Because
let
I
you know the
know on
whole
here
thing.
people probably use this against something, edit it, and say that we're speaking bad about Pearl, probably. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Let me tell you something about Pearl. I've supported Pearl since she was small time. I'm gonna keep supporting Pearl. I will always see Pearl as when I first started talking to her. I told her, I said, look, I'm I'm gonna it's good that I'm talking to you now because you're gonna be too big one day to like, for us to talk on Instagram or, answer my messages. And she is, you know what I'm saying? Like her and I, we still talk, on Instagram, and she calls me every once in a while. But like, she's made it. She's young. She's made a lot of the mistakes that like a lot of us make, but unfortunately, she's making them in front of 1.5 million subs. You know what I'm saying? You know, so I'll always support Pearl. Like her mindset. I grew up in a predominantly white neighborhood in Western Washington State, and like women with her mindset, like I dated girls like her. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing that she says shocks me. She's not a racist. She's not a misogynist. Like the expectation for someone, I don't know, man. Like a lot of the bad things that people would like paint her as, like people haven't traveled enough. People haven't uh, been around enough. I've lived all over the United States. I've been to freaking 13 different countries, and nothing really shocks me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a Pearl fan no matter what. And people are like, "Oh, how can you support Pearl?" Like I'm always going to. Like she's a great person, especially after meeting her in person. You know what I'm saying? So um, that's my stance on it. AJ, what's up, man?
Well said, Doug.
Yeah. Uh, don't forget that copium too is like super cat. This is they said. Did somebody say copium? No. Copium is like, oh well, these passport bros are all leaving, but they're all bum ass dudes I didn't want in the first place. Copium. You know what I'm saying? A big old line of codes and copiums. All it is. It's just justifying any bad decision that they've made. And I still don't think. I think that is crazy about the whole Pearl thing is everyone's eating off of her and they're dissing her at the same time. I think about all the content, hours and hours of content that Pearl has given all these channels, all these content creators who love her, hate her, react to her content or whatever, and then they're all hating on it. You know what I'm saying? Crazy. So
Yeah, I
Well,
agree.
recently, I think last night or Friday night, Nick Fuentes went on Fresh and Fit,
yeah,
and when he was on Fresh and Fit, regular, they was asking him questions, and
yeah. And he dropped the
so
N bomb.
so the girls was there and they pushing him, say it, Nick, and then he was like, say what, and then he called nigger, like he used the R. So anyway, I hope they come, they because this Frenchie, it all started in New York, by this guy, this guy named Black, Jason Black, and then all of them just like they just break it down, and he specifically picked clips what Paul said. Like he squeezed them, he cut it down to fine details where he wanted it, and then he just constantly played. Man, this guy and Frenchie, he's in New York, and the thing is, New Yorkers don't like him. The majority of subscribers he has is in the South.
Yeah.
Just imagine that in the South and Canada, majority is subscribers, and at the last, is like about 72,000 or something like that.
Yeah. It just I don't know, man. That whole yeah, so just reach out to me offline, and I'll give you I'll give you all the details, because Auntie Jenny isn't working with Pearl anymore, and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, so just after we get off the stream, say, hey, what's your Instagram? I'll put it on there, and then once you follow me, I'll take it off.
Okay.
And then if they just reach out to me on Instagram, and I'll give you the whole thing. Like, I'll tell you the family friendly version.
Yeah,
You guys,
yes, gamer. It is a bottomless split where vampire came and slay you at night. It is gamer.
Mm.
No, he write on the in the chat. It is gamer. It is the bottomless pit where buffs and vampires slay you at night. Yeah, it is New York City.
Do you cook Cameroonian food, Frenchie?
of course.
Yeah, boy, that's what I'm talking about.
What's funny, Frenchie, is you can how much these American black women hate, right? Because a lot of passport bros go, hey, look, I don't want to date American chicks anymore, so I want to stay within the race. So I'm going to get a girl from Cameroon, or a girl from the islands, or girl, Africa, the islands. And they still say, oh, y'all are sellouts and all this other stuff. And you guys are, wait a minute, she's still black? What are you talking about? Like, that's how crazy that American black women are over here. Even if you stay black, if you don't date an American, they will turn. My friend, she's from Trinidad. She's black, and she lives here where I live. And she has talked about like all the hatred, like some of her black female coworkers have given her in the past. They'll just snap on her all of a sudden because she's not like American black, and if she doesn't jump on the bandwagon of hating on people or acting ratchet and crazy, so they hate on her. She's like, "What are you doing?" But she's culturally different,
Yeah, I tell you, it just and women don't understand. When you cook a man a meal and serve it on a plate, I'm telling you, there's nothing like it. Nothing like it. Nothing more satisfying. It's almost as good as sex now, because it might be better if you're a Chad or a Tyrone, because you're more likely to get sex out of a woman in this day and age than you are to get her to cook a meal for you. Isn't that sad?
Hey, Frenchie, what do you think about the Whale Watchers? You joining?
Who?
The Whale Weight Watchers thing that Pearl's doing.
Whale Watchers.
She's sponsoring 3 big girls to get thin, and the show about body positivity. The big black girl on the right side of the couch. The big black girl.
Yeah, she's working out, isn't she? I saw her story. I was like, I'm really proud of her. Good for her. Good on her.
Yep.
That's what we need.
So okay, you know who Fatima Diame is? She's that Senegalese long jumper who runs for Spain. She's like that dark skinned girl that you see all over social media, and she'll long jump, and she has these booty shorts on, and when she jumps, her shorts are up her butt, and then she has to pull her shorts out of her butt, so all the guys are simping all over her. But yeah, look it up. Her name was Fatima, Fatima Diame, Diame. Dark-skinned Senegalese, because I swear the Senegalese are the Sudanese and the Senegalese are the darkest people on the planet.
Yeah,
But
they are.
she's Senegalese, and guys are falling all over her. I can tell you right now, it has never been easier as a woman to stand out from the crowd. If you are dark, because I used to hear from dark-skinned women, oh yeah, people don't like dark-skinned women. And one of the things with dark-skinned women is they have this I'm gonna get you before you get me attitude, but like they think that people are gonna automatically think that they're like unattractive, so they're gonna be mean first. And like, and that may have been, I would never discount. So I have like the skin color. So okay, in the DMV area, the Ethiopians are very like communal, and when they see another Ethiopian person, they give them the like Ethiopian nod, where the nods are like acknowledge them, right? And like I get the Ethiopian nod, so like I guess I look Ethiopian, and like I didn't on the West Coast of the United States. You're just black, but when you come to the East Coast, apparently you're like dark skin, light. People call me light skin. I'm like, what's going on here? Anyway, so I would never discount the experiences of a dark skinned woman. So I'm just gonna move past that in the past. But now, if you are a dark skinned woman and you can get down to a size 8 or less, or a size 6, you are better than 20% of the women in the United States. Or if you have a good attitude, even if you're a little bigger and you're a dark skinned woman and you have a great attitude, you're already better than 70 to 80% of the women, of the black women in the United States. There's never been there's never been a time where a woman, it doesn't matter if you're dark skinned, light skinned, white, Asian, it's never been easier to stand out from the average woman. Be fit, friendly, submissive, and you're better than most women out there. Better than most of them. So all your dark-skinned friends, Preachy, say, look, I know you think the world hates you because you're dark-skinned, but get down to a size 6 or a size 4, and they'll have nothing to worry about. I guarantee it. Because all the women around them are just fat.
To be fair, I think this colorism issue, when it comes to dating, I don't really see it as much. I would say it exists, but not when it comes to dating. What do I mean? So I know I was told that back home, if you want like a certain job, they will ask you to bleach your skin if you want that job. Yeah, but that's really what I was told. I don't know how true that is though, but it's what I was told. And but in terms of dating, everyone dates everyone irrespective of their complexion,
Okay.
I would say the colorism is more of a thing with black people amongst ourselves than with anyone else. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Like we have all types of messed up words: tar baby, smoke, charcoal. You know what I'm saying? We have all these words that we call each other. Yeah, you guys never.
Smoke. What is smoke?
Yeah. American blacks have so many horrible words for skin tone. It's crazy, man. Yeah. And all the, like, my sister's darker than I am. She's fairly dark, and she's been called more names by other blacks than any white person ever called her, So
yeah, man.
And then we call light skinned people light bright.
Yeah, or high yellow. Yep.
Yeah, high yellow or red bone.
Red bone. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I've heard of red bone. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Wow. And people wonder why. Oh, yeah. Okay. Here's the thing. Beauty is about symmetry and rarity, right? Mixed race people have more rare features. I remember when I was in Ireland, when you see a half African, half Irish girl who's like light skinned but has red hair, you're like, what the fuck is going on with that?
Yeah.
How often do you see that? You know what I'm saying? Like plus size models. The current industry is trying to get rid of like rarity and symmetry.
Mhm.
And
But the saddest part about plus size models is a lot of them have pretty faces. It's a
Yeah.
waste of pretty because they're fat. You look at that. So for instance, you look at Lizzo. Lizzo has a prettier face than Cardi B. Cardi B is an ugly woman. She just is. Like her face, man, she got the hissing match with a weed whacker. She is ugly. But Lizzo has a pretty face, but she's 400 pounds. You know
Hello, Mr. Weed Walker.
yeah,
Say straight up, dude. Cardi B is an ugly woman, man. She just is.
yeah,
What?
yeah. I
You
tell
know?
you. And I put it on a super chat with that Pia girl. I said, you know, the problem with plus size models is that any way that you make money should require sacrifice. And plus size models don't have to do anything. Story time. I waited tables at this restaurant in undergrad, and this girl and this is in 2005, like right before the housing market crash and the recession, and you guys know who Haley Duff is? Hillary Duff's sister. She looks like Haley Duff, but has like a big nose. Anyway, this girl, Crystal, she started working at the restaurant because she was 25 years old, had a degree in marketing, but she was a real estate agent, had a Benz, had a house and stuff, but the housing market was caving in, so she had to get a real job, and she was so pretty that she's like this 5 foot. I don't really like blondes, but she's like this 5'9" blonde girl, and everyone would say, "Why are you working here? Like you should be a model. You should be a model. You should be a model. You should be a model." So before each shift, we'd have this shift meeting where all the servers would go and talk to the managers about what food was or whatever. And so one shift meeting, she's like, "Look, guys," she's like, "Can I say something?" Like, yeah. She's like, "Look, guys," because it had been a couple of months, and she's like, "Look, I'm tired of you guys asking why I'm not a model." She's like, "I was a model between 17 and like 20." She's like, I've been to Milan, I've been to Belize, I've been to Britain, I've been all over." She's like, the problem is she's 5'9" and they wanted her to be 117 pounds. What's that in stone? Let me tell you. 117 pounds.
That's super skinny, Doug. That's really skinny.
Frenchie, that's 8 stone. They wanted a 5'9" girl to be 8 stone, right? And she did it for like 3 years, but she smoked cigarettes and she ate apples and drank black coffee for freaking 2.5, 3 years. Could you imagine? I mean, she would cheat every once in a while, but they would measure her, and if she'd have to be between 115 and 117 pounds. And if she got over that, her model agency was like, "What the hell?" So she would smoke like 2 packs of cigarettes a day, eat apples, and smoke cigarettes. That's the type of sacrifice she would have to make to be a model. And tell you the truth, I don't have a problem with it. I don't. She should have to sacrifice something because I got to work my day job every day. I have a boss. I mean, my boss is cool, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I got to get up and go to work every day. I hate the fact that we're creating avenues where people can get money without doing any work. Plus size models are welfare as far as I'm concerned.
You heard the OnlyFans. You heard they said, Doug, you gotta have talent. A plain devil's advocate.
Yeah, my
Doug,
ass.
you gotta have talent. It's OnlyFans. You gotta know the position of the cameras. You gotta be an auditor.
You got to be able to mess around with men like that Irish guy. Ugh.
Yeah.
There is
Come on,
no
man.
price
I'm
that
not-
I would
I'm not-
freaking have another
not
guy's
gay,
wiener
though.
in my mouth. It's just not happening.
I'm not gay though. I'm not. Please.
Oh, you guys are bad. Oh my
I
god.
think I was like, yeah, bro.
That's the wrong type of spotted dick, right? That he was talking about.
Yeah, man. But anyway, well, I am gonna wrap this stream up because it's been around 2 hours and 30 minutes. I'm gonna go live again Sunday at 5 p.m. I think I want to talk about that Jonah Hill thing. You guys see that thing with Jonah Hill where his ex-girlfriend said that he's he was emotionally abusive in the relationship and released a bunch of text messages, and all they were was just saying, look, if you keep having male friends, if you keep going out to the club and showing your ass on Instagram, I'm not the partner for you. It was a perfectly civil text message. But just like Pearl always says, women will blast stuff out on social media before they address it with the person or go to the police. And this is exactly what happened. So I'm thinking about covering that. But anyway, join me next Friday at 5 p.m. Any closing thoughts, Frenchie?
No, thank you for having the show and having me on. It's nice to finally speak to you all. And I'll definitely leave a message under this video for you, Doug.
Yeah, and then we'll connect on Instagram. And
Okay.
Kenford, any closing thoughts?
Yeah, the bottomless pit is always open. The gates are always open, flights in and out. We need women, the OnlyFans models, the OnlyFans chicks. We need them here in New York. So they always a getaway, and at the end of the day, it's in Central Park, homeless on a bench. So
all paths for OnlyFans models lead to the bottomless pit, right?
Shut up, dude. Ain't that the truth?
AJ, any closing thoughts?
No, just I see this whole thing about like saying that your girlfriend shouldn't go to the club is somehow like patriarchy, and it's like, dude, it's just a mitigating risk. If you let someone borrow your car, right, or if you're responsible for something, you want to keep it safe, right? I was arguing with a girl, she was saying that in a relationship, she should still be able to go to the club. I'm like, why don't you just go to like a bar, like
Actually,
a dive bar?
Real quick, AJ, you can continue a second. I'm gonna put my Instagram in the private chat, Frenchie. Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead, AJ.
So, and this girl's like, well, I just want to dance with my girlfriends and have fun. And I said, but people go to the club to hook up. Well, not all girls are at the club to hook up. I'm like, but as a guy, how am I supposed to tell the difference? You're dressed up like a whore. The other girls are dressed up like a whore. Like, how am I supposed to tell the difference? I go, why don't you just dance at home? Well, that's not the same thing because there's not heterosexual men trying to come up and grind on you. No, thank. I said, why don't you go to a gay bar then? It's arguably better. You know what I'm saying? And she's like, it's not the same because there's no heterosexual guys hitting on you. I said, do you realize the danger that women put themselves in going in the clubs? You can get groped, you can get raped, you can get drugged, you can get all these things. Some guys can get in a fight and pull out a gun. You know what I'm saying? And then you get caught in the crossfire. I said, if you're with a guy and he's responsible for your safety, you're saying, I'm gonna not have you there and put myself in a dangerous situation, and damn what your opinion is. Clown world. Absolute clown world. And I don't deal with it personally. And she's like, well, when you go to a bar, I said, I didn't say bar, I said club. There's two different things. You can go to the bar, play pool, whatever, fine. But going to a club, people go to clubs for one specific reason.
Yeah, guys pay $50 to get in for one specific reason.
So, anyways, all right, you guys.
All right, you guys. If you're watching after the fact, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Kenford, you're awesome. Frenchie, you're amazing. I'll catch you guys next week, okay? See ya.